Holla man. Yeah, flight boss. You know things and so much shit done changed. It'll never be the same. All I can say is ride this motherfucking flight. Bitches wasting my gas, check me out. Spending money on Taco Bell, Burger King. The band look like a murder scene. Myrtle Street with homie used to be at junior high. A place that I ain't never used to be at. Excuse the time, skipping school, stealing cars. Twisting boo, hit it hard. Hallucinate, go to lunch. Rejuvenate, roll a blunt for after school. Years pass and I'm still smoking. I can be sleep, but you can bet my eyes be still open. 10,000 to 80p, nigga, I'm real focused. When I shine, I'm like an eviction, bitch, you will notice. I stand tall, you can't overlook me. Straight from the bottom, you can't understand it. Nigga, you know I'm from another planet. I'm in the sky and I ain't fucking landing. I have relationship juice from gravitational loops. I have no patience for you, bitch, in a spaceship I flew. Need a bitch to cater to me, why should I cater to you? I got issues within the past, poke a pencil right through your ass. Giggling, then she laugh, feel the energy through the glass of the Hennessy. Baby happy that she done flew with me. These are why things feel awkward when it's just you and me. We can see fireworks jubilee. Baby, tell me whatever you believe. Just hoping you truly see, just move with me to another place in the universe. Did it anyway when you knew it hurt. Flight boss, they just ain't what they used to be. Ride that fly. I got so many things on my fucking mind. That fly. That's not my girl, she just a friend of mine. You know. She got me wasting gas in the summertime. The things like give me a name, give me a name, give me a name. You know and for sure. The things like give me a name, give me a name, give me a name. You know and for sure. Morning or night, call me alright. I've been flying like it ain't nothing, that's just part of my life. Heard you was talking down on the flight, but that ain't doing no work. Was making more money than you and I was doing them shirts. These things that occur, your flame will emerge. Till I understand that she just wanna ring like the Spurs. And she gon' get it, even if she with me or not. Now she's so different, even now she switched up her spot. I ain't got no business, thinking of forgiveness or not. That occur, your flame will emerge. Till I understand that she just wanna ring like the Spurs. And she gon' get it, even if she with me or not. Now she's so different, even now she switched up her spot. I ain't got no business, thinking of forgiveness or not, but she gon' get it. So I gotta sit back and watch and see the sparks in the flame. No 4th of July, this source in my brain, just forcing a shine. Let me start like my plane and get lost in the sky. This in my heart and my veins, and it's part of my mind. The translated through music, the fans rated you useless. You know, compared to the flight, I'm in the air for the night. Niggas scratching their head like their hair getting light. So confused, watching my shit like man, he weird but he nice. I got a double-edged sword to cut the game right in half. Look up, baby, you see that flight of path. Like ball, they just ain't what they used to be. I got so many things on my fucking mind. That's not my girl, she just a friend of mine. She got me wasting gas in the summertime. They just ain't what they used to be. I got so many things on my fucking mind. That's not my girl, she just a friend of mine. You know. She got me wasting gas in the summertime.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Venus and Taurus transit talk. We are going to be profiling this Venus transit that began March 18th during 27-degree Pisces on Neptune, or next to Neptune. And it's going to last up until April 11th. At this juncture, Venus is still leading the Zodiac. What's up, y'all? And this is going to be the crucial moment before the initial convergence. Okay, shout out to all of y'all glowing up. Um, there's a lot to be said about this point before we kick off the spring around, well, now, but come into summer. And I'm just gonna kind of speak a little bit more on the science that the zodiac bestows. I'm going to be drawing from this romance oracle card deck for all the signs. So if any of you would like a live reading with the card, you can click the description box below, and you'll see the instructions. Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal. If you would also like a transit interpretation of Venus in Taurus and in your chart, I'll make another few announcements, but you can join the queue right now too. I also still have my 50% off sale. So that is an automatic discount for anyone who would like further insight on this transit or just your chart in general. Okay, that being said, shout out to the Venusian dominance. Shout out to the Venus vessels, moon Venuses, the Venus spirits, sun Venuses. Um, Shout out to Carrie, I believe your moon, Venus Gemini. You got the true heart and soul. Shout out to the Venus risings. That's one of them, the instruments of beauty, natural beauty in Taurus here. We wake up like this. But shout out to the other Venus signs as well. Rachel Parks, there is no discount code. The discount is automatic. So once you add it to the cart, it will apply automatically. Great question. So I think Venus is both underrated and overrated, but it's not as understood as it will be now. Venus now, the personal planets, especially all of them, but especially personal planets, we see change a lot. Like what? No, this is actually true. What? Crusty and sexy or whatever, but Crexy. But yeah, what Venus meant in the BCE era versus uh, the early 200s versus now shifts a lot, and it's seen as a feminine aspect, but there are masculine and feminine aspects of Venus. Aphrodite used to be seen as a war goddess, right? So personally, Venus is something that's seen in men and women, whereas Mars is going to be a more masculine energy that's spearheaded by men. It's not uncommon to see women be Martian as well. Some women have Mars placements, just like men have Venus placements. So men who are more Venusian will come off as more metrosexual, will come off as more nurtured, will come off as more caring about their grooming, depending on the sign it's in too. If they take a more social approach, of course, this is more commonly expressed by women as well. But it's important to see how a lot of these expressions are directly impacted by the society you're in, and also the culture that expresses these themes, and seeing how they've maintained some kind of consistency but have changed also a lot throughout the years. So we talked about your brain processing. Okay, we talked about your mind. Venus is your heart, right? The heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? Only God knows your heart. Venus can go anywhere from fickle and very materialistic to very nurturing and loving and materialistic. Okay. But also very earthy, very grounded, very social. Venus is, I think, is and what I love about Venus is it kind of applies to people who are beautiful, right? Not just men or women. Venus is focused so much on beauty. When you think of Venus, you think love and beauty so much that you forget Venus has a lot more it governs. Venus even has a lot of governance over trade and the economy. Venus is very intelligent when it comes to social affairs, bridging social affairs as a ruler of Libra. You know what I'm saying? Venus has its prominence in the courtroom. Venus, you know what I mean, has a lot to do with money because the economic system is Saturn, but the value of money and stuff, that's Venus Taurus, the ability to barter that socially, that's Venus Libra, to come to fair agreements. But Venus, you know, just like someone who's super beautiful, people just pay attention to the beauty and forget that, you know, there's so much stuff here. So Venus teaches that lesson, how beauty can be deceiving, beauty in and of itself, inner or outer beauty, right? The moon Venuses with inner beauty, you know, it really does give you, depending on the sign, the quality or the nature of one's heart. Okay. Venus in a fixed sign is more likely to be loyal, like in Taurus, because of its stubborn nature, versus in a mutable sign, the misconception is that it's non-loyal, but really Venus and mutable signs have the need to explore their curiosity, to really perceive. Venus and cardinal signs are go-getters. So it definitely gives you an idea of how to realistically come into an amazing understanding of how we can, in this next age of knowledge, come into a more supernatural understanding of Venus. Okay. So let's go out of the old, outdated view of Venus as like this object of desire, the object of Mars's desire, and let's put Venus more in a magical sense where Venus is your plug. This is your plug for manifestation, because your brain, Mercury, will process the facts and information about what it is you want to manifest. It's objective. Mars is going to be the desire that acts on this, but it's Venus, your heart, that really guides you with this intuitive intelligence towards what you love in the first place. I mean, wars are fought over Venus, right? That's the trope. And this is another thing where you're going to start to see new Venusian tropes. Venus usually plays the trope of the damsel in distress or the maiden who has to be saved. But Venus throughout all time has been a finesser. Like Venus is the assassin that knows how to use her looks to murk you. Seriously, she knows how to attract. So people who have powerful Venuses are amazing seducers, whether you're a man or a woman, because the nature, especially Venus and Scorpio is some of the greatest psychological seducers ever. Venus and Taurus is more sensual, but it's your ability to discern desire and beauty in a way that appeals to the senses. The aesthetic of Libra gives this Venusian touch to where she beautifies everything. And so this is what brings to this Midas touch. Venus knows how to really draw out the fickle nature of one's being and exploit their desire. Marketing, if you think about the whole mechanics of marketing, if you didn't have Venus, you could not sell anything. Like this is how, like, we went into how like magical Mercury is. Mercury is the OG, but Venus is another OG. The reason why any marketer can promote anything and put that gloss, put that finish on it, look at how this looks. It looks appealing and attracting. It attracts your Martian desire. That's all Venus. Art, Libra, right? So, you know, given the balance and symmetry that comes into the nature of understanding your own heart, when we get, you know, esoteric here, the heart is really the key. Yeah, the brain is what gives the command prompt for the heart to pump, but the heart pumps blood, right? So whereas the sun is ruled by Leo, which is your life vitality, and what I would call love, right? That shines on the beggar, the rich man. Venus is more feminine sexuality. It is like the sexual aspect of love that enables you to lock on to what you desire. And it's how you like to give and receive pleasure. Okay. So that's a skill, like the ability to be able to use your own seduction to elicit desire. There's a supernatural element to this where people who have very powerful grasp over their beauty can hypnotize others. People with Venus Neptune contacts or Plutonian contacts, there's Venusian archetypes out here that, similar to Ada, like people will just simp over them. And it's an unconscious slash subconscious effect that through Venus, you're in a position to literally hypnotize or enchant, right? Libras have a charm to them because that charm comes from the goddess of beauty. And they can elicit and draw your heart and put spells on you, like Venus Pisces. Everyone has that 20, 27, 28, 29 degree Venuses. I put all in the same area, 29 being the master. Like this is mastery of being able to use your heart to express your talents, your gifts, and being put in a position to, every Venus sign has something. You just have to unlock it. But if you don't necessarily be in touch with your Venus, you're going to have low self-worth. And you're going to allow yourself to be taken advantage of. People with debilitated or weak Venus give their power away because you have to really be in touch with your heart in order to balance your mind. Remember, Venus rules Libra, the principle of balance, opposite Aries, Mars, your ego. Right? But then your mind you use to help balance all this. So it's very, very fascinating because I feel like there's still so much about just Venus alone and everything, but really Venus that we're not really aware of. Heart is also electrical. This is true. So yeah. And for the purpose of these, thank you, Royal DX, for the purpose of these transit talks, whereas I'll speak on Mercury as your brain magic and power, and Mars is your go-getter power and sex power. Venus is going to be how you like it, how you like to take it, how you like to receive and give in a nurturing sense. And Venus, I'm going to really focus more strictly on money and value, right? Because in order for you to establish an appraisal of worth, or to barter, you have to find something valuable enough to want to buy or sell. And when you sell yourself, Mercury is your ability to express your skills, but Venus is really that value and substance that comes from your heart. Okay, let me tell you. So with that being said, Venus that's finished through Aries, the Venus-Pluto synastry is no joke. Jesus, guys, I have that exactly opposite Pluto. It's a lot of sexual tension. Oh my God. So, yeah, the nature of your heart is a little bit different now that it's gone through mass awakening. It's gone through Pluto with the conjunction like the other planets. It's gone through Neptune and Pisces, and it's evolved over Jupiter with Venus and Aries. So the new cycle of romance and connections and relationships with other people is now getting ready to ground, where as we're stepping into this new Aries cycle, which is manifesting this, versus when it started with Pisces before the new moon, you will unexpectedly be manifesting very supernatural connections with people. And I want you to comment an exclamation mark if you're already feeling into it now. You could be with an existing partner and you're tapping into facets of him or her that you see coming out, or you're single and you feel like you're going to be in a significant partnership, whether platonic, friendship, or romantic, if you feel that, this is the presence of Uranus and Taurus, the North Node, and of course, Venus in Taurus. There's a supernatural evolution of your heart's ability to manifest through what you love, the heart directing and being a signal for what it is you find pleasurable. And the more you align with this feeling, especially if it's not physical yet, the more that you align with this feeling, the more you enable it, the magnetism to manifest. So let's break it down. Uranus and Venus in lore are said to be ancient twin flames. I don't believe that, but I do believe that there is significance towards a connection like that. I'm open to believing that that is true. You know what I'm saying? And I could be wrong, but there is some credence to assert that there is a magical connection between Venus and Uranus. Every time they come around, this cycle we're starting relative to the Neptune cycle is literally putting you around the vicinity energetically of counterpart matches. Venus, Uranus means love at first sight. It's a sense of recognition that with Uranus as a trans-Saturnian planet, it's beyond your physical senses to make sense of these facets of the heart. So Neptunian and Uranus context bring these psychic, mind-reading, telepathic connections that don't make sense to your brain, because while you are here in 3D experiencing this linear reality, your heart is tapping into connections across many timelines. And you can only process with Mercury so much of the synchronicities around this. And so much of the confusion that may have come with making sense of this intuitive understanding like that is just making sense. It's just going to be real. It's going to hit you out of nowhere. It's going to be very fucking crazy. And now this is going to be the difficulty of talking about this transit talk, because everything about this transit is fucking retarded. It does not make any sense. It's not going to make any sense. It's not going to make sense why certain people who the door has been shut on and like everything has made it look like no matter how strong you're connected, it's not going to work. It's working. It's not going to make sense why certain character flaws or issues around certain people that you finally just gave up trying to change, now they've changed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's what you did not realize is that the stuff you've been picking up on has been happening massively unconsciously. It's been happening subatomically. So you've been seeing and gaining word that this is what it is, but you're like, it's not physical. This is what it is. This is what it is. You see signs, but it's like, it's not physical. That's because you are tapping into a Uranian energy that's outside space and time, telling you how things truly are while you're still going through the time. And so now we've reached the period where all of this burgeons from underground and then just like magic beanstalk just becomes real. And so you're going to be connecting with people who you meet for the first time, but you feel like you have known them your entire life. And that is your critical brain doing what the job is. Your critical brain has to function like this so that you know if you're in a dream or not. And if you think about these extra dimensional facets of this energy, which are dreamlike, it's going to frustrate your critical mind, because it's processing feelings that don't make sense. So you summoned the peace dealer. You didn't have to be here. You paid the opportunity cost to be here because you summoned my presence. So I'm supposed to tell you right now that your willingness to make sense of these connections have blocked you. I'm telling this to myself as much as you, because at this point I'm just channeling. Your willingness and desperation, thank you, Janice. Thank you, Queen Janice. Your desperation to try and make logical sense of this, okay, is what has blocked you. You're at the space now where like there's nothing to let go. The only thing you have to let go of is doubt. Some of you think you have to let go of the connection. You can't let go of this. You're connected to beings that you're connected with forever. You have to let go of the doubt. You have to let go of trying to control it. And the thing that's very important here is that, okay, you have been desperately trying to make sense of this because as a kid you were taught that you have to inductively and deductively reason. So you're not doing anything that you haven't been brainwashed you have to do to make sense of in a society that reinforces you having to make sense of it. It just so happens that doing that is literally blocking the connection that's already here. Okay. In fact, you don't have to be told what you have to do. You're already doing it. That weird ass delusional shit that you're doing, that your critical mind comes in and it's like, this doesn't make sense. And then you suppress it. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what your heart is drawing you towards. But the thing is, it's not delusional. It's not crazy. Your 3D body is interacting with a higher dimensional existence that you can only experience in the 3D. That's why it feels right, but it's not supposed to make sense because you're building new neural pathways in your brain to be able to perceive something beyond your entire understanding. And it's going to feel like you're a retarded fish dressed in honey, not knowing what the fuck you're doing. And that's how it should feel. Ladies and gentlemen, that's actually how love feels anyway, because it produces the same chemicals in the brain as insanity. But the thing here is you have to uninstall these programs because the key here is you have already been doing, you see, your subconscious is like, oh my gosh, my slow ass 3D self thinks that it can make sense of it. There's no way you can make sense of this supernatural quality because it's your higher self working through you. What you have been feeling, every single one of you that has been commenting an exclamation mark, you've literally been feeling your higher counterpart engaging with their higher counterpart and other higher counterparts. Your higher counterparts exist in dimensions beyond the 3D. And so, whereas you can only see cubes, you can't see the cube of the cube. It's not going to, you're going to be feeling sensations that don't match with what you're experiencing in the 3D, but you're still picking up on it. And as proof, you are mirroring these people. You are mirroring these people in a way that's putting you in a position to actually, through synchronicities, know that it's not just in your head. Your head is just processing it. So here's good news. It's never going to make sense. You're doing the equivalent of trying to fit God in a box. And now the angels and gods are clowning you, trying to make sense of what you're just a vessel and instrument for. This shit's just going to unfold for you. You just have to see the signs and just follow suit. All you have to do is just tell your higher self, this is the type of relationship I want. This is what I want. Your higher self is just going to, as things change, be like, hey, do you still want this? Hey, do you still feel the same way about this? And that's it. Just have to focus on it and just let that shit go, because your higher self, your subconscious is already doing it and guiding you and having you meet the people who you don't even know are going to be significant later. You could have just walked them across them on the street. Now, this is having you download key details about these individuals that put you in a position to come into so much lore and more lore relative to what you are being put in place. Okay. Furthermore, what we also see here relative to this is this very, 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 Lindsay, I got, hold on. That's weird. How did you get that? So basically, now that we have effectively understood this dynamic, the reason why I want to bring this into much more greater understanding here is because personally, you're being put in a position to make more realistic sense of this than ever. The reason why this is retarded as fuck though is because um you know, none of this is going to happen the way your mommy and daddy taught you it was supposed to happen. So I'm going to say this again. You trying to do the right thing is the wrong thing. Some of you feel like it has to happen traditionally. They have to meet my parents. Well, some of you are attracting people who your parents hate. Like they will never, ever, ever want you to see. Some of you are attracting people from different worlds from you. Some of you are in situations where you can't do it the traditional way, even if you tried. And many of you don't realize that the traditions that your parents and their parents brought in are a part of a dead world. So like you guys are pioneering something that's never happened. The connection that you have has never happened. The type of people who you are has never been on this earth. And so the thing that's very important is in order for you to make the most of this, right? You have to be retarded. Like Neptune is delusional, right? In its negative sense, but you kind of have to be heart retarded. Like your heart is going through a very supernatural awakening. If I show you the chart right now, Venus is literally in the midst of meeting Uranus, the moon with which is on Uranus. So the moon starting its cycle on Uranus, everything that I'm saying about love and romance, say also put with money. If you take that approach towards money, you'll make so much money. Like if a lot of you, the reason why some of you are not making the money you want to make is you're not romancing your career. You're not having sex with your job or with life. If you were to approach life and your job the way you have sex, and you were to make your job orgasm, you will be getting paid. This is what Venus and Taurus is going to ground in your body so that you can actually make this real. Uranus going through with Venus is going to make your heart retarded as fuck because it's awakening new senses before it goes back into Gemini, and it's going to gain its senses back. So Mercury and Venus are going to go into Gemini, and then you're going to gain the logic back. But while it's going through Taurus, you're going to be dumb in love with what you do, with certain people. And if you try and get so much in your ego, the Aries 12th house undoing, to try and look cool to people who don't even matter like that, you're going to only take like so little percent of this. You have to go deep in your heart and feel the retardedness so that you fully feel the retardedness so you can get that full power to bring in line with logic. You can't compromise here. And the more you try and make it normal, the more you're disrespecting the union, because there's nothing normal about you and there's nothing normal about this union. It's literally that simple. But it's complex in its expression. So personally, I'm going to break down how significant this is. Right now, the moon is on Uranus with Venus, second house to the sun and Jupiter. What's going to happen in a few short hours from this point, literally from this point? I'm going to say from this point because moon is on Uranus right now. This is where, as the moon moves forward, you're going to get unexpected income. And so there's money that's expected that's going to come in a lot more than you expect. And then there's unexpected, there's money right now that you didn't even expect can come in a certain way that's going to come in. Listen to me. For some of you, this is also going to come through other people who will introduce you to wealth. Why is this important? This is like a new lane that has not been traveled. So you're going to see this come through. And then when the sun enters Taurus, you're going to use the sun energy to now create that lane. So it's like right now, you're just going to realize, what? People are giving me money because of my feet? I just accidentally posted a picture of my feet on Instagram. I wasn't even trying to toe model, but now Venus is in Taurus and I just got paid $1,000 out of nowhere because people want to see a picture of my feet. I didn't even think my feet were that sexy. Some of you know exactly where I'm going with this. Once the sun now goes into Taurus, now you're creating your OnlyFans foot page, and now you're raking in that dough because it's like, wow, my feet are so much more valuable than I ever thought. It's like each toe racks in like $500,000 over like several years. So this is going to excite you because this is also applying to relationships where now coming into the full moon, certain people are just going to pop in your life. Certain people who were just acquaintances, lovers, certain people who you were just platonic with, you're extremely close with now, even if you're still platonic. Certain people who, you know what I'm saying, you were cool with, like they're like your connection is so channeled now. Like it's just going to, because you weren't aware of what these people have been thinking behind the scenes. You weren't aware of what you personally have been building and manifesting subconscious to you. And this Earth Taurus sign manifested. Okay. I don't know why I keep using that example. I'm pretty vanilla. I haven't been broken down. I haven't been broken yet. So I'm still just a neophyte. But keep it simple. But yeah, other than that, I still know what my fetishes are yet. But yeah, other than that, this is amazing since it's happening now. But this manifestation of income is with Uranus going to have to inspire you to be open to new ways of making income in ways that for some of you is not going to be money. So some of you don't even know you're literally a multimillionaire right now. You're literally a multimillionaire. You have unlimited abundance, but you've been taught your whole life that the only wealth is money, right? The only wealth is money. So you know like 5 different people who are like the plugs. Like if you are actually to use your Venus and your connections, not trying to do anything weird, if you're actually bartering, giving and take, you would never have to pay for shoes. You would never have to pay for certain food. Some of you don't even realize this though. Some of you don't even realize you have stuff that's not money that these people find super valuable. So like you have this limited pendant your grandma gave you. And now one of your friends you didn't even know knows every fucking chain, has every fucking chain store. Is like, whoa, I've been looking for this pendant my whole life. It's worth billions to me. Like every single person on the world kind of has this situation, but you've been lied to believe that, oh, worth is only this. And that's just one level of worth. So Venus in Taurus is going to reveal to you, hey, look around you, because you have certain abilities, skills, you have qualities of your own body that you don't even know. So this is going to awaken more insight on the qualities of your own body. Some of you have certain qualities of and strength of your skin pigment, of your eyesight that is very valuable. There's not even a dollar amount of its worth. And you're going to see yourself as someone that's trying to get more money. By the time we're at 29 degrees Venus, you're going to be convinced you don't need money. Now you're going to realize money wants you, literally. Like money is just a currency that you can spend, but you have transcended, because you're a fucking genius, the need for it. You're not slaves to the system, and you're able to even hack it. Okay. It's just that's going to turn from a concept into a reality. It already is. Literally, it already is, the fact that we're here right now. So this manifestation cycle is activating this level of power. But I have to explain now why, with the North Node, relative to the unlocking of wisdom 6 months ago, or prior, sorry, like 6 months ago, in Scorpio season, you personally are getting ready to manifest this wisdom in the form of connections where you're connecting more deeply with past life counterparts. At this point, you've connected with several past life counterparts platonically in your family, somewhat romantically, and it was all preparing you for the ultimate set of people and experiences that's getting ready to converge before the North Node in August goes into Aries, and then you move forward with these connections. So I have to once again harp, moving forward, everything is going to begin to converge because Jupiter in Aries is expanding now how much more powerfully you make sense of these synchronicities. It's just the fast pace of how all of this is going to prepare you for Virgo season at that is going to feel like, you know what I'm saying? This is all happening once, like so fast, and still in a paced environment, like every day being an episode. So, yeah. Personally, I don't use Chat GPT. I've heard everyone ranting and raving about it. It's one of many AI systems that's going to come through with this Pluto Aqua. So I can imagine by the time Saturn's in Aries, it'll be like 50 other different versions of Chat GPT. Shannon is definitely not lying. I just can't. I don't know what to say about it. Like I don't really fuck with AI like that. But it does work. It definitely does help. From the people who I know that have used it, it's been able to automate their stuff. I just personally, the reason why I'm not really focused on Chat GPT is because you have Chat GPT in your consciousness. Like Chat GPT is literally a cheap imitation of your higher self. So like what certain people may think is, oh, yeah, you have spiritual abilities, but like you're in the 3D, like Chat GPT is a more grounded way. And what I'm trying to let you know is do you know, like you literally can use Chat GPT in your brain. Like you can literally program that right now. And and I'm not saying this to say that use one over the other. Like we're entering a period where you can augment both, but that's really the direction I'm kind of headed to right now. A lot of this technology is distracting because if you rely on it, which personally I still want to use GPT-4 because Chat GPT-4 would be pretty cool to just kind of teach it astrology and whatnot. But yeah, I'm kind of like an old soul. I haven't really explored that yet, but either way, right? I feel you. Either way, I'm sure it's pretty cool. I'm sure it's pretty cool. But yeah, um, this Venusian transit is downloading physically in your heart. Venus, first rulership in Taurus, is what gives your senses the ability to be rich in its quality. And now that you're downloading this Uranian aspect, let's actually go into the whole nature of personally this transit. Right now, Venus is 9 degrees. Once it goes 10 degrees, it's on like Donkey Kong. So the Decan nature of Venus, and I got some of your cash apps. I'm going to definitely hit you guys with the cards and the readings. For, of course, right, Taurus, we have Venus, then Mercury, then Saturn. Okay, it works differently a little bit each way, but Venus is the polish, right? That's the first decan. So Taurus is what? The producer. So in order to understand the decans, let's take a production factory. When we produce this, for example, the first thing we do is this originally was just cards, right? This originally, before it was painted on and shit, it was just cards. This was an empty book, right? So basically, Venus is now painting this. It is creating the value. The first 10 degrees is us determining what it is we love. The subdecan of Venus, right? This is you pretty much putting this in a position to put the aesthetic together. The next decan is Virgo ruled Mercury of analysis. This is where we start to actually write the book in. This is where we start to put the data, the barcode. This is where we now take the product and we start to now analyze the product, sort the product, the value of the product, where you have what it is you want to sell. And then you decide, okay, this is worth $5. Well, Mercury is now the description of the product, right? Then the third decan of Taurus is Saturn. Okay. Saturn is now where we finish the production and we get it prepared to be sold. Has to go through regulations. And now if we take this analogy, knowing that we have finished the first part of oh my gosh, Linus, this is amazing. Now that we, of course, are coming into the end of the first part of this transit, once we step into 10 degrees, the 10 degree to 20 degree entrance is going to show us the conjunction of Uranus and Venus. So that means this weekend and next week, you are going to be coming in to some of the most radical, unconventional initiation and awakening of union. This is a union. Let us go back to last year. Last year, we had Venus hit, of course, Uranus after the retrograde. So Venus that retrograded reevaluated who you even are when it comes to giving and receiving pleasure. No, this is wrong. I went too far in time. I don't know what I was doing. So Venus didn't retrograde. I was about to say. I think it retrograded in another sign. But the last time Venus was on Uranus was the last time they united. So this is what I mean when I say that Venus is reuniting. You are simulating a reunion. Okay. Venus coming back around. Last time it was Gemini season. So the sun was before. And last time, this is why it's important. Last time that they united, right? It was hidden. So most of you weren't even conscious of this. Venus was in the house of the unconscious. So a lot of the setup towards this, you were so busy being aware of new truths and learning magic school because Pluto wasn't even in Aquarius. There's no way you really could know. Now, juxtapose that to now, where Venus is after the sun. You're going to not only be aware of this, certain things before that you were like, is this a connection? Is going to be like, yep, you're about to be on it. Okay, you're about to be on it. And everything is now set in place with the Pluto in Aquarius, where judgment is coming from heaven. Shout out to Michael. The coolest thing about this is the part of your soul that's always been in the know over this next week, starting from the end of this broadcast, and I mean literally now because of the moon on 17 degrees, so it's already happening. The part of your intuition that you have been gaslighting the shit out of is going to be like, I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you. You're manifesting the transcendent quality of your own consciousness that couldn't have had understanding until now, right? So what this is also facilitating are the manifestation of the evolution of these psychic abilities through your heart. You're going to be processing this through your body before the sun goes into Taurus, and the sun activates the awareness of this. So while you are still being aware of who you are, Sun Aries, your heart is now grounding a reunion of everything you love. Let's use food as an example. Last year in June, you liked spaghetti. Now you're realizing you're much more of a pizza enthusiast, and the quality of pasta you like is so much more complex than you just realizing you love pasta last year. Now you realize you really love pen pasta, and you can cook pen pasta supernaturally too. And the reason why this is significant is as your taste is advancing, this reunion is now putting you in the face of people who have since then awakened. The reason why Uranus is seen as awakening, I look at Pluto as awakening, but realistically, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus are different forms of awakening. Uranus is more an energetic awakening that comes from being in tune to knowledge beyond what you analyze here physically. Okay. And so relative to that, this is putting you in a position to very, very, very powerfully strengthen the physical body wisdom that puts you in the mode and zone to not only manifest, but come into your power. The vehicle and signature for Mars and Aries is power and activation. Mars activates things. Well, Venus manifesting, and it's going to in Taurus manifest. Thank you. Everything past Saturn is beyond 3D limitations in a nutshell. So you're taking Venus that's before Saturn, which you can see personally in your life, and then you're taking Uranus, which is beyond Saturn, which is literally everything futuristic and innovative. And this is getting ready to innovate the quality of your relationships, which is going to look retarded as fuck. Now, Saturn is sextiling this. Okay, so this is what's going to strengthen the current belief system, Pisces, Saturn system, Pisces belief system, that's going to now bring footing to this. The reason why you are seeing synchronicities, but you weren't aware of things moving forward is because Saturn wasn't in Pisces, crystallizing those beliefs. So you are trying to make sense of Pisces, an extra dimensional facet of your perception that is literally outside of space and that you can only connect through with your imagination. Now your imagination is sticking. Now properties of your imagination are manifesting at will. Okay. And that's the thing. You're moving from license plates and signs to actual people and being able to facilitate these experiences. Now, the extra dimensional facet of Uranus is teaching you you've been doing this since birth. You're only just now becoming aware of this. And the supernatural heart awakening of this conjunction is happening as a manifestation second house to the Aries sun. So this second house to the Aries sun means that this Venusian aspect is manifesting. It is a push button that is currently happening right now. Given all of this science that we have now compiled, once we get to the end of this transit in April 11th, and Venus is ready to move into Gemini, Mercury and Venus moving into Gemini takes us from the 1, 2, 3 punch. And this is what's going to, by Taurus season and Gemini season, make sense. Perception is sense. So right now we're doing actions that will make sense once all of this converges and we start to gain the logic. So until then, be as retarded as possible. Like, don't really tire yourself out. Lonnie's Lost Souls vibe, welcome to God Squad, okay? Once again, this transit talk will be available for the replay, but don't necessarily tire yourself out trying to make logical sense of this, because as a supernatural being awakening, you're creating new logical understanding because your mind is evolved. So the way you understood stuff was like a third grader. Now you're getting ready to understand stuff like a freshman in college. But given the analogy we've been using, you've graduated college already. Now you're learning this on the job. Okay. Now let's actually talk about sexual energy, because Mars is going to be transiting Cancer at the 29-degree point. So I want to show you what's going to happen as Venus slowly approaches Uranus. Okay. The moon is getting closer to Mars in Cancer. Mercury is on Jupiter. So we're going to have Mercury on Jupiter. We're going to have Venus on Uranus. And then we're going to have Mars on the moon trining Saturn. Okay. So what this puts you in a position to do is personally, okay, this is a trinity activation. First of all, I have to highlight that an alignment like this is once in a lifetime. We will never have an alignment like this again with this quality, ever. This is like Saturn alone is 1 in 30 years. So like Jupiter, as your brain is evolving, Venus, okay, Venus is putting you in a position to manifest the effects of this evolution of your brain. So the 29th of March is very important, which is going to be next Wednesday. One thing you have to keep in mind is this is already starting now. So it's not just the 29th. The 29th is going to be the climax where we start the cycle and move forward, but it's already happening now. This triple conjunction is the activation of supernatural power that enables you to harness the next level of your abilities. So the past 3 years, you've awakened superpowers, but now you are evolving the quality of how much more you can access. So let's say up until this point, you've only accessed level 1 of your superpowers, and 2020 to 2022 helped you master level 1. Now you're getting ready to step into level 2 and level 3 of your powers starting now. You have gained a base understanding of the mechanics behind your intuition and your will. And now you're getting ready to do more complex things with them moving forward into the rest of this year. Okay? Do it. So, what's very, very, very key here is the guide of this. I said Venus was leading. That was a lie. Mars is leading right now. Mars happens to be leading. Mars in its trine to karma here on the moon, getting ready to hit Lilith eventually, while Venus is squaring Lilith, is going to do a number on your sexuality and your sex drive. If you're feeling super horny now, you're going to feel hornier than you've ever felt. You're going to feel more sexually aroused because you're awakening supernatural ability. The basis of much of your superpowers is sexually based. So in expanding your capacity to harness energy, this is going to be exploding the raw sexual power and energy that's going to create for uncomfortable horniness. And while you're feeling this horny, your heart is going to be on some retarded shit, feeling more in love than it's ever felt because of this reunion. And I hate to be mean and say retarded, but I feel like retarded is the best word to use. I think it's the most accurate word to use. So while the moon is going to be on spicy ass Lilith and Venus is going to be on Uranus, be very, 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 very careful. Because, and when I say retarded, I don't mean like in a insensitive way that makes fun of people who have that. I mean like seriously retarded. You know what I mean? Horny. That's funny. Yeah. Let's use aroused, right? This is very important because some of you are going to be in a state where you ever know how like you're sensible. Maybe some of you have post nut clarity or post cum clarity, right? And like there's just certain things you would never do. Be very careful about this transit, especially with its connection to Neptune. Some of you right now would never have kids. Some of you right now would never compromise in certain relationships. During this period, okay, thank you. Anti-X Gen, I got you. Please send me that chart. Any one of you who have the astrology, send me the charts. So basically, during this period, you're going to be so in love with what you do or with the concept of what's coming through that you're going to be susceptible to doing some retarded ass shit that you would never do. And the thing is, once this goes into Gemini and you gain that clarity, you're going to be like, what the fuck did I do? Oh shit. Whoa. Did I just let someone nut in me and get me pregnant because I thought I was in love with him? Be very careful because some of you are going to do that. Some of you are going to give your heart to people who in that moment, it's going to make sense because your heart is retarded and it's inundated with all these signs and synchronicities to really suspend all logic, okay? There's nothing in Libra. There's nothing in Gemini. Niggas is going to be stupid out here, okay? And now that's not a bad thing. This is what all of you need. But I'm just telling you right now, grab out a pen, grab out a piece of paper. While Mars is still in Gemini, because it's not going to be in Gemini starting tomorrow, write down on a list of paper things that you won't do now that you're not stupefied in love. Because right now you feel it pulling you in there. It should feel like quicksand, right? Right now you feel it pulling in there. Right now, a list of things of everything that you choose not to do. Because once Mars goes into Cancer and then you start to get fully in your feels and this shit takes you over, you're gonna bring that list out and you're gonna rip up the list, but at least just have something there so that if you try and rip it up, it won't. I know you think that I'm joking. Once Mars goes in its fall in Cancer here, all bets are off. All bets are off. And it's not really a bad thing. Like if you're already delusionally in love with a partner, this is going to be so blissful because this is going to be a reunion of hearts. Some of you, before the sun goes into Taurus, and you're aware of this, right now that Venus is in this area, you're already around the romantic counterparts that you are meant to be with. Some of you still think that some of you have friend zoned these people. Some of you think that they're into other people. You don't even know that they're thinking about you. They just don't know how to approach you. Well, once the sun goes into Taurus, that's going to activate this. So, and this is already going to start to form. This period is where you might start connecting with someone. The talking phase is the whole Gemini season, but you may already start physically connecting with someone before you make it official, or before things move forward, or before you move so much deeper into your relationships with people. Those of you in existing relationships with people who you could have been with for years are now starting to finally embody the being who you were in love with in the first place. But then when you got with them, it's like it's almost as if they were someone else entirely. And you don't understand that your presence has been integrating this facet of them. They couldn't have integrated it without you because they wouldn't have had the desire to. And so this is bringing just different layers and levels to people who you're in relationships with. But for those of you who are single, and for those of you who are just now getting with people, you're getting with people who you have known for lifetimes. And they may not even be awakened to that until you both trigger that within each other. And that's what makes this super retarded, because if you try and take and make logical sense of this, it's not going to make logical sense, because you can't understand this in a postmodern, like American or westernized way, which is fucking stupid. The culture that kind of facilitates a lot of this hookup culture, or like, casual sex culture, or really just trying to pick up people, or trying to just like hit it and quit it. That's not this type of energy. You see the North Node here, like it's getting ready to square Pluto. So like you're not aware right now that the connections you're making with people are connections that you're going to know for the next 70, 80 years. And that's why if you are not authentic in Aries season, you're going to be connecting with superficial people who you don't even realize you're going to get to know more. So ask yourself if the people who you're around right now are people who you want to be like or around for a while. If not, you better change that right now. You better move in that direction, because this is going to happen so fast and you're going to be put in situations that you can't just bail on. Once again, this energy is a callback to more traditional periods where like these energies are ancient. So it's not this type of hookup culture where it's like, okay, I'll date this person and then I'll date that person. And if it doesn't work, I have these options. You're not going to have options like that. You're going to be put in situations beyond postmodern relationship themes. Some of you are going to be connecting with people who you have to go on the mountains to so that you can end generational curses. But it's not going to be in some quasi-spiritual bullshit way. You're both gaining full-on visions. If you didn't want to believe it, they shared the same dream you shared. So now you have to take it seriously. You're mirroring each other. This is some real shit. Okay. And it's been happening since Pisces. So, this is now grounding what has been created since Pisces, the be, the do, and then the Taurus is the have. So with that being said, now that we have kind of broken through this significance of the promised land, this second part of Venus is where it's going to go down. So the middle of Aries season, once we start to step into the sun decan, right, is where you're going to see, starting now, hyper accelerated progress towards moving towards a new facet of this union. The synchronicities moving forward from now until the middle of April are going to literally eclipse everything you've ever done. And this is where I'm saying, like, even if you're single, you're not going to be able to escape these romantic themes. You're going to be experiencing them with platonic relationships because of the need for that union with Venus. So you may experience that with a job. You may experience that with platonic friendships, that after you experience that, you realize, nah, I still want to be single, or nah, I want to be in a relationship, or nah, I want to do this different polyamorous union. Like, this is going to kind of introduce things that your parents didn't go through, their parents didn't go through, in light of new technological innovations in this world that now make thinking traditionally the dumbest thing you can do. Some of you are literally blocking relationships that are meant to take you to your success and change your life because your parents wouldn't approve of it, or because it just doesn't look normal to the public. And like, you can keep running from it, but you're just creating your own block. The moment you get out your own way, it's all going to make sense, because the insight that you don't have, the other counterparts have to make sense of this. At this point, you've now realized that these counterparts, being reflections of you, aren't beings that are meant to just save your life and get you out of this need for companionship where you're using them to get over being lonely. There's so much more purpose connected to this, to where it makes sense, but in a way that's delusional to your heart. Except it's not fucking delusional. Except it's not delusional. It's actually the truth. And you're going to use the delusion to make sense of the lies you've been told to your whole life. Okay. Now, this next period, as Mars goes into Cancer, is shutting off the logic. You needed the logic of Gemini for this next step. It's going to completely turn on the fields and your psychic ability, and connecting with that Saturn Pisces is going to make sense with this 2-degree squat trine while Uranus is on Venus. Okay, so much of this dynamic. This is also going to key in the breakthrough and climax with this conjunction of unconventional manifestation ability. So Venus on Uranus, second house to this Sun Jupiter, is literally going to be your ability to heighten the increased quality of how much more effortlessly, in alignment with your heart, you can manifest just like that. Okay. Do you feel me? So this, with Uranus as a higher octave of the mind, post Mercury literally evolving your brain, is going to have you think of things, and it literally is happening. But the lag that exists is just for you to get more into alignment. And this is where you're going to begin to be a little bit more aware before Taurus season, where you'll be fully aware of alternative, unconventional means of manifesting value that are every which way supernatural. So the more you try and add a worldly wisdom to this, outdated mechanics of like physics and science and the scientific community, the more it's just going to betray you, because you have more wisdom with your own ability and genetics than anyone can really study, with which they would need other people, which is not conclusive enough for you and your uniqueness. So this is where you have to go full retard. I know you should never go full retard, and I always say to go fish-tarded in Pisces, but you're not really going retarded. It's going to feel like it though. It's going to feel like it though. So let me give you an example. Comment an exclamation mark right now if there's a goal, and I mean, this is vague to say, this could apply to everyone, but if there's a goal or if there's a specific individual that you feel connected to, that on the surface, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense on the surface, but scientifically, with everything you picked up, it makes perfect sense. and like you see their name, even if you're not trying to see their name, you're keep being brought back to their direction. Okay. Now, if you commented an exclamation mark, what you don't understand is that they feel the exact same way about you, but not the reason why it doesn't make sense to you is because it's not in a romantic way. These people are not thinking about you like, I'm so in love with you, I need you in my life. No, they're thinking about you like, why do I keep thinking about this person? They're mirroring you. They're like, I don't even know this person. Why does this person keep on coming into my sphere? And now this is the Uranian element of it. It's unconventional. It's like, they're not my type. They don't make the type of money that I'm looking for. They don't drive the car or wear the clothes or whatnot, but I can't get over the connection that I have with this person. And you're not aware that you're mirroring each other because your higher selves in advance have already brokered this connection. Think about you in a gaming lobby and you're next to your friend in a gaming lobby, but his character is in a different place and their character is in a different place. And so like you feel each other coming together in the game, but outside the game, you're literally fucking next to each other, trolling each other. This is literally the dynamic you're tapping into. And the whole notion of that is that with this union, this is getting ready to manifest and make sense of why you have been experiencing all of this. And so if you were to fully give in, so what a lot of you think, thank you, what a lot of you think is, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like for me to even think that this is even possible. This is crazy. Now, it's different if the universe is telling you, go, run away, go away. She's not the one. He's not the one. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hopefully not most of you, because I think a lot of you are more the other. Some of you, the universe is giving you red flags. The universe is giving you readings where they're like, no, this isn't the one. This isn't the one. And you keep on ignoring the red flags. Honey, you're delusional. Sir, you're fucking crazy. Like, stop. Listen to the universe. Stop. Because it's not about the romance. The universe is protecting you. Some of you don't realize that person could be good for you, but if you were to be with them, they might get in a car accident that kills you. It's not personal. You're just not meant to be around that person right now. Some of you are the other. The universe is showing you signs that this is the one, this is the one, this is the one, but it doesn't make sense to you. So you're like, no, I'm going to get with this person instead. And it doesn't work because that's not the one. And you're doing the opposite. It's like you're not believing it because it doesn't make sense. When it actually makes all the sense in the world, you're picking up on a connection that has not played out in this space-time yet. You experienced it in time space, but it's not in space time. So with that being said, okay, relative to these connections like so, you think that doesn't make sense. If I try to talk to them, they don't even open up to me, or it doesn't look like it's going anywhere, or they're dating someone else, but I keep on seeing these signs. What your heart wants to do is hold space. So your heart wants to hold space, and you think that you're holding space in vain. Your heart wants to explore the feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring so that it can build this energy. Your heart wants to explore it, but your mind is saying this doesn't make sense. So you trying to make sense of it is what's blocking it. That's why you keep seeing the signs, because you're wavering. You're seeing the signs because this is what's actively being created. The only thing blocking it is your need to make sense of it. This shit doesn't even exist in a 3D though. Stop trying to make it 3D. It's something beyond 3D. You think because you don't experience it here, you don't have it. 3D is just one component. The fact that you're seeing signs means it's going to be 3D, but you're focusing too much on the 3D. I've done this too much myself too. So what you're supposed to do is literally live like they're in your life right now, because this is what's going to engage the telepathic connection that you're having through other people, holding space as archetypes and other experiences. The trick is some of you do that hoping to trick the universe and make it 3D, but then you're putting out to the universe that you're waiting for it. It's nothing you're waiting for. It's here already. You just have to experience it in the 3D. You're not doing this so that you get them. So for those of you who hold space so that you get them, what that looks like is you're holding on to them and you're not living your life. So like some of you feel like by holding space, it means that you have to put your whole life on hold and wait for them to come in. No, you don't have to do that at all. That's like seeing a sign on the road and then you stop at the 5 miles away and you're like, why am I not there yet? You gotta keep driving. You gotta keep driving. It's 5 miles away. It's not 5 miles gonna come to you. We are not waiting. So keep moving forward. Keep doing what you're doing. Is just in your heart. Know that this is what you're stepping forward into. Keeping this in your heart is not holding a fixed image of this is how it's supposed to be. You might get with someone else who fits that exact archetype, but this is just what the energy knows. This is why you just want to still keep moving forward and keep open. If you in your heart know that it's one person you're meant to be with, then hold space for that person, but keep moving forward. Okay, not in the sense where you're trying out your other options, but you're not putting your life on hold, waiting for something that's only going to happen and meet you as you're moving forward. Okay, because some of you already know who it is. Some of you already know all the people you're meant to be friends with, you're meant to be with, and hold true to what you know. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, okay, we talked about the love shit, which Venus wanted me to make sure I really get square, because this is getting ready to awaken new dynamics. This is now the next. Yeah, I don't usually get a lot of Twitch comments, but yeah, I forgot I stream these on Twitch. So basically, personally, the whole dynamic that this is setting up to is this. You ready? We're still in the beginning activation phase. Let's actually go 6 months from now. By the time we're in Libra season, right? You see how Jupiter is in Taurus and the South Node is in Libra? Wow, what was that? So by the time we're in Libra season, you are in a partnership where your partners and your friends are using their superpowers and they complement your superpowers. That retrograde with Pluto back in Capricorn is reevaluating the systems and structures you set up before you awaken those abilities. So like you are now in relationships where you're both acknowledging you're using these abilities, kind of like last year, but it's so much more like in the open, right? It's so much more real, and it's transforming the quality of relationships, literally transforming 8th house to Libra, quality Taurus, relationships Libra. So why is that important? Why that's important is because right now, this is what is facilitating the dynamics for you and all these people to manifest these abilities. And this is what's going to have you manifest with your ability others who resonate with your quality. Because Gemini season is what's going to produce the abilities. You spent last year learning how to use magic. Now this year, you're going to actually practice this magic. Last year, 2022, was you in a collegiate magic school from June, and you graduated in December. Remember, you ascended, saw them synchronicities. This year, Gemini season, is you on an internship / job. You've graduated magic school. Now you're going to do your first job and you're learning on the job using magic. You've graduated, and it's going to be so fucking badass, dude. Y'all going to be casting spells and creating spells in your brain before you master them in Virgo socially with other people. So with that being said, what's very key about this right now is that on your physical body in person, it is manifesting your power. This is what is going to enable you to see, smell, taste, touch, and sense your power through the form of clair senses with this Venusian aspect right now. Okay. And relative to that, this manifestation of the quality of your power is what's making real your supernatural abilities. And now that we've got through that science, we know scientifically we're going to have these transits. Venus is going to make its way by the end of March over Uranus. And once we start April is going to be the convergence where everything begins to spill over and express itself. And we're going from this being more internal and conceptual and ideological to fucking real as shit. And now the last decan of Venus is important. The last decan of Venus is what's going to take the development of the quality of this ability you're manifesting, and it's going to, with Saturn, really crystallize this. So while we start to come into this passionate manifestation and its dignity, Mercury will now begin the process of grounding your brain's ability to process everything that you've awakened, coming into a mental awakening before the sun mental awakening, while the sun evolves on Jupiter. So I want to make sure, as you know, from new moon to full moon, we don't miss a beat. By the time we get to the full moon and the sun gets ready to actually conjunct Jupiter, are you fucking kidding me? Venus is going to be making its way out of Taurus, so that by the time we are at the last day, we're on the Sun-Jupiter conjunction. That is how banging this transit is. While we have the Sun-Jupiter conjunction, Moon is ascending in the 9th house to the Sun, your vision of your character. This is literally a Sailor Moon ascension anime scene sequence with the power of fucking Jupiter that is evolving your consciousness. This is literally screaming superpower evolution. And this 9th house aspect, you're going to see yourself as a higher power. You're going to see yourself in a higher light, and it's going to change the way you see yourself as you're evolving. This is all going to happen April 11th at the end of this transit. And that's how we kick off Venus Gemini. The sextile Venus is going to have to Neptune is going to make dreams real relative to what you wished for when Venus was on Neptune. This is going to open the door so that you now start to see the physicality of what was just your imagination. Shit is supernatural, B. This shit is lit. Not gonna lie. So that's how we end the transit. Okay, that's basically the science of it. Venus in Taurus is polishing the superpowers over your body before it goes into Gemini. You run the program in your brain and you start to experience intellectual experience of the power areas of the quality of your strength, Taurus. Now, that's the science. Let's get on the hardcore heavy channeling. We are reaching more of a convergence point with the unconventionality to Uranus, where some illiterate, dumb motherfuckers will not be able to join the ark and ship. These idiots are like Noah when he was building the ark. So you're going to want to make sense of these dynamics to people, and they're not going to hear you because they're stupid. Some of you have lied to yourselves, and it's not your fault. This is a free replay. Some of you have lied to yourselves by saying, oh, they're just ignorant. They just don't know now. They have willfully chosen not to know. It's through pride. This is going to evoke a huge frustration in these illiterate, dumbass motherfuckers who feel too cool and prideful to understand these things, or they're getting they're getting effed in the A by their own religious dogma. And so it doesn't allow them to open up to this truth in a new way. So there is a huge inundation that will tempt you to try and think logically about this. During this critical point, as things are moving quickly, you're going to have people in your ear talking about, hey, this doesn't make sense. How can you just change your whole life for this person who you just met? What? Past life soulmates? That doesn't even make sense. That goes against my religion. All this sorts of stupid fucking bullshit that has nothing to do with you and has more to do with how your authenticity threatens their beliefs. And so they're trying to pretend that they care for you, but you're just doing what you have to do, the Lord's work. So what's very, 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 very important is that you do not give in to this attempt to suppress and inhibit the radical force that with this conjunction is still just a seedling. It's still just a baby. Once we get to the August to September and October region, it's now a young, mature adult, not a fresh togepi that just awakened and is susceptible to all sorts of impressions. You have to protect this baby that is hatching right now and not enable yourself to give in to this normal, realistic sense of how things should go. That's the pressure of the squares to Saturn and Pluto you will be feeling, the collective pressure from other people that pressures you to be someone you are not. A bot. You are not a bot. You are not a clone. You are not a sheep. You are not a follower. You're not someone who is supposed to be peer pressured into giving into narratives just because it makes sense to other people. Move forward with the understanding that you are not meant to make sense to other people. Your catchphrase during this entire, for the rest of the year, really, you're not an NPC. Your catchphrase unless you want to be, your catchphrase for the remainder of this year, and especially this Venus and Taurus, is, bitch, I am beyond your understanding. Tap your neighbor to the side and tell them, I am beyond your understanding. It is offensive for someone to just assume that they can just know you or understand you from the outside looking in because they know superficial qualities of your race or your tradition or your culture. You are a complex being with a fucking world, and you're a literal universe. Okay, scientists are debating about how to make sense of this local universe. So, like, you cannot expect anyone to actually truly understand you. And anyone who tries to think they know you, that's really fucking offensive. Unless they're the peace dealer and he's ready to his chart. That nigga knows you then. He knows you in and out. It is what it is. Thank you for the opportunity. No, but realistically, this is so very important. This is how people try and gaslight you or manipulate you with these idioms, with these social idioms that were never true since the beginning of the time. And this is how Uranus and Venus are going to break you away old traditions that may have made sense when you were a kid growing up, but actually never made sense. And they're the sins of your parents. They meant well, but they were lied to and brainwashed as well. So you represent the push into this new age. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius, we saw the end of entire cultures, Aztec cultures, Mayan cultures, Pluto pestilence due to diseases from settlers, which also killed the settlers too. Like, you saw the end of like monarchies and other such collectives. And this is getting ready to awaken new collectives in light of the revolutions that you've seen through this point. Okay. I like to really speak of the French Revolution. I know there's the Haitian Revolution, there's the American Revolution, but the reason why I'm focusing on the French Revolution, it was because the French Revolution was a whole mess. The French Revolution kicked out its monarchy and then instantly went too extreme. And you have to look at what's happening in France right now, because everything that came from that, all the countries France attempted to settle, Britain attempted to settle, all right, Spain attempted to settle. it's all coming back around. Like, please understand that much of your nationalities and much of your cultures come from that. Some of you are most likely from a country that was colonized by these superpowers back in the day. And if you think that doesn't have anything to do with you, guess again. Pluto in Aquarius is asking you to rid any kind of identification that comes from that, even if it's your own culture, because in holding on to it, you're going to find that it betrays you because it was never true. Let me tell you something. Your nationality, your name, your heritage, your culture, there's nothing wrong with losing your heritage. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep if you have certain cultures or traditions, no one's telling you to throw that in the trash, right? Let me tell you something. Your culture, your heritage, your nationality, your name given to you by your parents, your social security number, your status, your race, your gender, none of that shit is you. That's what Aries season is trying to remind you. None of that shit is you. What do all of those things have in common? These are all things that were given to you outside of you. Am I lying? These are all things that were prescribed outside of you to label you. But who you are comes from within you, not what people from the outside looking in feel about you. That's why you have a bunch of people walking around not knowing who the fuck they are, agreeing to shit that if they knew what they were, they wouldn't even feel like they needed it, because y'all got finessed. Y'all got finessed by evil space aliens that are coming back around with this cycle to return on investment. And there's a small group of awakened individuals who are not with that shit. Some of you are reincarnated celestials who are coming back. And that type of wisdom, you see how CNN is tripping? Some people think that they're star seeds. Really, from another place? Yeah, bitch, the star seeds are awakening. That's why. And they're not even really called star seeds. Who you are cannot be given from outside of you. This is where coming of age ceremonies come into, where once you're of age, certain cultures put you through a rebirth process so you can awaken to who you've always been within, the world within. So many of you are, and that's the difference between who is awakened versus who isn't. Someone who is awakened knows who they are from within. And now I'm not talking about the people who say I'm Pharaoh Akhenaten from blah, blah, blah. Those are people who are trying to be someone else. That still came from outside. Okay. Buddha got a cap moon. He got an ancient soul. Okay. Shout out to the old soul cap gang. So some of you, your soul is older than most civilizations. And you only came to this planet just to assist humanity. Aquarius. So like, you're in a society that thinks that's delusional, but they're the delusional ones. You just look at any facet of their life. It's completely fake. So like, just keep that in mind, because some of you are wondering why you can't connect with people, but you're not coming as you truly are. You're coming as your government name. You're not tapping into this ancient part of yourself that you feel is crazy. And the ancient part of yourself thinks you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Your willingness to pioneer this is going to challenge the scientific beliefs and study that most people did, and they're going to take their anger out on you. But the fact that the cognitive dissonance causes them to do that is proof they're full of shit. Because if they were secure in what they knew, then what you believe wouldn't threaten them. But it does. I wonder why. So there you go. Now that I've kind of broken down the science of that, let's actually get deep into this. Venus in Taurus is now adding physical quality to your superpowers. So whereas Aries pretty much so activated the direction you're going within your power, Venus in Taurus is now having you look in your cupboard and be like, oh, these are the tools associated with it. So this is actually the physicality of it that I can begin to work on. Uranus and Taurus is still going to be here until 2027. So 2023 is the checkpoint from 2023 to 2027, where now the manifestation of this is so much more physical. Up until this point, it was subatomic. Like you would have to go deep within yourself to notice this, because it was still auto nervous in function. It's still auto nervous in function, but it's so much more conscious now. It's something that you can actually like facilitate. You guys are going from seeing synchronicities to now manipulating synchronicities. Now you can manifest synchronicities just like that. Now you could just be like 333, and then you look to your right and there's a 333. Okay, you're so in tune and aligned. And this is where I'm saying the whole purpose of you awakening superpowers is really just to prepare your processing ability so that you can engage with higher beings in a non-retarded way. Like, this form of communication is not the way you communicate. It's like they're putting you in remedial class. You're a way more gifted communicator, but you had to overcome years of brainwashing and deprogramming, and now you've finally done with that process, and you're so smart, it's just going to pick up the speed. So now you can communicate with them the way you were meant to communicate with them, flawlessly, and they can hook you up. You can literally talk to your spirit team and be like, you know what? I think I want a very spicy and thrilling experience. And they're like, okay, well, we'll see what's up. 5 minutes later, they come back. Hey, go to this point in like 30 minutes. And then you'll see what happens. And you've already been doing this, but you've been doing it subconsciously. Now it's going to be conscious. Now you just make the intent. You see the opportunities come up. Some of you already been there. And now the next quality of this is if we're preparing for war, where once we come out into the social axis, Leo season to Scorpio season, where we're going to start to engage and mingle with others, Aries season is the season where you're choosing your character in a fighting game, right? Or an RPG. This Venus Taurus into Taurus season is now where you're customizing what clothes is your character wearing. What weapons? Aries season is still the class. Are they the mage class? Are they the warrior class? If they're the warrior class, you choose between the swords. If they're the mage class, you choose between the staffs. This is what we're still initiating. So you still have to just kind of take your time with this and come into more understanding of the nature of this wisdom accordingly. That will put you in a position to effectively capitalize on all this. But before then, once we're in Gemini season of attitude to Virgo season of analysis is what's going to give you a conscious awareness with the sun of being like, this is what this is. So once we're in June to July, you're going to be profoundly aware of what the fuck is actually happening. Square Saturn, that's going to make you accountable with your beliefs so that you don't try and ditch it the moment some logic comes in. You have to still keep some of what seems crazy, but it's not. Let me make sense of that. So basically, by the time we get into Virgo season in September, this is what's going to have you integrate for real, a real way to communicate and present this in Libra season and be like, this is how I'm connected to this person or this opportunity or this, right? Gemini season is going to be the beginning and starting that versus Virgo season, September to December of 2023, where by the time we're in December, you'll finally see the meaning of why or what it all means or how it all means what it means. So we're not even there yet. We're not even close to May. Okay. You want to really just immerse yourself. It's not, if it feels retarded, feel retarded. Just go down this rabbit hole and really build this. I want you to just go OD with your imagination, but with this Taurus chapter, really feel, really sense, really hear it, really tune in. Keyword really, really. Because this North Nodal connection is what's tying in destiny and fate towards every aspect of this. Like literally, North Node, sextile Saturn is connecting destiny and karma so that your actions are aligned with what's meant to happen in these spaces. The stuff you're doing isn't really you. It's plot. Some of you, okay, now let's even take this to a deeper level. Some of you are being, some of you have been prepared to debut this year. Not everyone debuts this year. Everyone debuts at different years. Some of you are debuting this year. You'll know if you're debuting because fire signs are starting to show up in your life. Like Leo dominant motherfuckers are showing up in your life, or Sag and Aries doms. Fire signs take priority. They're first class. So fire signs usually have mad scenes. If fire signs start showing up in your life, you're in the plot. You're a part of like the movie. I know. Good luck. Some of you don't want to be. And so run away. If you start to see fire signs showing up, run the fuck away. If these motherfuckers start hitting you up and shit, and you're not trying to get attention, run away. Because like you'll be in a fucking 8-episode drama real quick. Or a Sagittarius will outright just kidnap you and put you in a 5-hour movie. That's the greatest ride of your life. Like the fire signs are ready. They got Jupiter and Aries. They're looking for motherfuckers to just cast in their movie. They ready. And once they've chosen you, it's really hard to say no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're going to basically force you. The Aries will damn near force you. Like they got plot power. Leo has plot power. Aquarius has plot power. They're the wild cards. You don't even see Sag coming. Leo, at least you'll see coming. But be careful because they got plot power. So you can try and run from Leo, but then they'll just make it so that they'll see you in the 7th scene. And it's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. But it is what it is. If this is what you want, you should get fucking excited. If you want that, because fire signs will put you on this year. If you want that, practice your lines. Because you have to be authentic. Their movie thing is authenticity. Your lines are your actual real lines. So you can't really fake the funk, or they'll flame you mid-scene, and now you're going to be laughed at by the audience. So something to keep in mind. This is definitely going to bring some of you, your children are these. It's not limited to just fire signs, but pretty much. The air signs are more the writers. The earth signs are like the directors, but like everyone can get it. So like everyone's getting it. This is more a meta movie. So you know the kind of movies that actually show the directors of the movie in the movie? I'm not talking about a movie where a director casts themselves in the movie. I'm talking about a movie that's so meta, it actually shows behind the screen and it puts the people filming the movie in the it's that type of movie, the most annoying type of movies. Fucking life. So like there you go. If this is what you want. If this is what you want, I'm just saying, some of you aren't with the smoke. So when the fire signs come, it's going to start off like, and your Aries friend hits you up. If like an Aries, a Sag, and a Leo hit you up the same day, and you don't want that, run away. Just go ghost for the next 6 months. Because like if they want you, there's nothing you can do. And if they have the destiny power, you're in there. You're in there. If they're manifest, some of you fire signs are manifesting you. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Because they hot right now. They gonna get what they want. The universe treats them like babies. So like if they say it, hold on, I need to go down. It's so not fair. Water, you have the first class, you have imperial class, earth, you have the supreme class, air, and then you have the sacred class, water. So water kind of gets stuff last. Fire gets priority. Their first priority. They always get shit first. And it's so unfair. That's why fire signs walk around like a bitch. I'm fabulous. I'm hot, bitch. Yeah, whatever. Y'all just burn shit and then we have to clean up your mess. There, I said it. But without you, it wouldn't be exciting at all. It'd be so boring around this bitch. Anyway, there you go. This is very important because this is also going to put you into a burgeoning relaunch of Divine RPG, second season of World War Zero coming soon. I'm gonna break that down. Divine RPG has gone through such an upgrade where the MMORPG facet now enables you to recruit any facet of any team, and we're still within the Guild Wars period. It's just the next part of Guild Wars. Guild Wars before 2020 was just gathering guild members. Now we're full on in Guild Wars. It's about to really be a thing. So the Guild Registration Act is over. Saturn and Aquarius was the Guild Registration Act. All the guilds have been registered. So yeah, we're getting ready for that. So other than that, the real nature of superpowers is in the process of becoming more literal. Venus in Taurus is now enacting causality in its sextile to Saturn of karma and material reality that will enable you more than ever to start to see patterns between what you think and do and what happens. What you touch on your body and how that happens out there. And this is where it's always been like that, but some of you are just awakening through the spiritual puberty, maturity, amongst other things. Okay. And so with that being said, the next 60 days, rest of Aries season, Taurus season, and half of Gemini season is going to make very, very real the process of the supernatural. And this is where that Mercury conjunction, Venus conjunction, and Mars trine is what's going to set this off. It's the Mars quincunx to Pluto that's going to transform the expression of this power. And that's what's also going to make you extremely horny. Pluto is 8th house to Mars. Cancers be OD obsessed with Aquarius because Aquarius is detached. And so Aquarius to Cancer is like what they can't have. They can't get Aquarius to give a fuck about their feelings for them. And it turns them on so much because water signs are hidden masochists and they really like to be hurt and they love the pain. Sorry. So like, yeah, this is going to bring this like unsatiable sense of like arousal that will kind of drive forward the awakening of this deeper water power. Okay. And that's what's going to make supernatural the manifestation of this power. Some of you are literally going to be sparking fire from your hands. And the thing here is, let me not say that example, because Uranus is trans-Saturnian. If you don't know certain wisdom around what you're doing, to other people, it's going to look like you're doing nothing. So the people who are initiated, they're going to recognize you. Not everyone who's initiated is good. You have some people who are initiated who use their powers for evil. You have people who are initiated who use their powers for good. So not to put out that false dichotomy, but the people who are initiated in wisdom will recognize what it is you're doing. Everyone else who's too prideful to really open their mind and learn like you learned, they're not going to know what the fuck you're doing. They're going to know something is happening, but they're not going to know you're doing it. It's like electricity. You can't see electricity. If you don't know the science of electricity, it's going to look like magic to you. So you're going to have people who are kind of frustrated, feeling like you're bullshitting them and lying to yourself when they're just basic ass stupid bitches who really are so full up their asses. They refuse to learn basics like everyone else learned basics. So let their bitch asses be basic. They might even die basic. Who knows? But let them keep that and move forward with your pioneering innovation. Some of them basic ass bitches will eventually learn and apologize for being basic as well. And some will literally stay and die basic. You must divorce yourself from really taking them serious. They're not even really deserving of your compassion because there's a manipulative bent to this where through psychological mind games, it can almost attempt to have you backslide, which is why you want to be very clear on making very aware the nature of this and not entertaining it at all. Not entertaining it at all. Okay, cool. Anyway, other than that, it is what it is. So with that being said, I think we covered most of this. Because the moon has now finished the conjunction with Uranus at present, let me actually show you. I have this natally. So I've done facets of this, but I think it's important for you to see this. All right, Alien Construct article. This website is a goated website. It's higherselfcommunications.com. This is the alien chart article. So as you can see, how can I tell whether I have an alien pattern in my chart? If you have sun within 15 degrees of a planet's glyph, it's a power alien. If you have moon within 10 degrees, it's a vessel alien. If you have a planet within 10 degrees of either direction of your rising, it's an instrument alien. And then there's other nuances to understand this. So we have the Uranian vessel. Uranian vessels can comprehend the cycles and trends of the future. Shout out to Moon Uranus's in Cap. I have this. I've been able to read some. I do this all the time. This is why I channel so well. And Moon Neptune, but it doesn't have to be Cap. Any of you Moon Uranus is an Aquarius are the coldest. Like these people are real aliens for real. But like, yeah, safely coral electricity, erratic energy, channel high frequency beings, receive and transmit messages to the divine, hold the truth about another person so they can see themselves as whole, telepath to trapped or imprisoned individuals or animals, shift consciousness of those in denial through stimulating questions, sense the formation of inventions or innovations, unconditional love, predict election outcomes. Okay, offer unconditional love, able to communicate with the souls of waiting to be born souls, predict conceptions, read the minds of teenagers, which is why some of you could be inundated and caught up in an entire genjutsu, feeling your unborn children or children that you're not even meant to have years from now, or children that you'll never even give birth to, communicate with. And your conscious brain may not realize that that's what's happening. You might just pass off the whole experience as you just talking to yourself, which is only at most half true. Because to even speak of a dynamic like that is not conventional in today's society. So if you're going to take a conventional approach to it, that is the stupidest thing you can do, because it will never make sense. It will never make sense enough. So that's just something to really keep in mind. It's something you have to Fool card. The Fool is Uranus. You have to keep an open mind to it, because you're not going to be able to process and integrate this until months later. So you just have to really experience it newly and humble. This is why this requires no ego. Anything that's kind of Transcendental, the more ego you have, the worse it comes to you. This is Doctor Strange energy. Doctor Strange's extent of very powerful knowledge meant nothing in the face of magic. He had to humble himself. Ancient One had this dude looking like a fucking fool. Okay, Fool, Uranus, Fool card. Yes, this will be available. Okay, available. Okay, so it's the new voyage, and for some of you, this is a new voyage in love. In romance. Some of you have never really felt like you can be your true self. Like you've had to hold yourself back, because if you were your true self, people would believe you're so fucking weird and different. But that all changes when you find someone crazier than you, or someone that's, definitely not afraid to really express eccentric facets of their own self either. So Moon on Uranus is not only understanding this, but manifesting the life force of the exaltation of the sun in Aries next to the king of the gods, Jupiter, with Mars 29 degrees, is facilitating the ability to manifest natural electrical energy, chi, from your body. That's why I said it's all starting now. In case you didn't know that, you actually officially have the ability to actively channel electricity from your body. And anyone with Moon Uranus will be able to do this a lot more naturally in an earth sign, and truly in an air sign, and deeply in Scorpio. Because there's Pisces too, and now there's Aries, and the new one's being born in Taurus. So you know what I'm saying? This is going to be the manifestation of extra dimensional energy through your person and energy and spirit, and you're beginning to be aware of that. But this isn't like Virgo season where you're going to have it mastered, and you're like, shh, get out my face, no jutsu, boom. Like you're still feeling it. You're still having to harness it and personalize it. You're still having to feel like, okay, that's what this is. Oh, that's what this is. Because you're initializing this again. And we can't ignore the elephant in the room that this realm of science is seen as pseudoscience by outright idiots. But it is what it is. So you don't have to really believe this. But for those of you who are called to act, the reason why this is very important is I can say this, but your society has brainwashed you. So some of you feel like when I talk about superpowers, that I'm talking about it figuratively. Some of you feel like when I say you can fly, you think that I mean it as like an analogy to, no, I'm talking about flight. This is the bridge here. Not a lot of people will cross this bridge and they're going to die. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. If you cannot harness your life force energy in a practical way to enhance your physical senses and enhance your body, when the sun supernovas, not supernovas, when the poles switch 2025, when the sun starts to shine brighter, the natural, this is another phase of evolution. All throughout human history, humans have had to evolve to make up for the changes of climate. This is the next stage of human evolution. Are you a sorcerer or non-sorcerer? Are you becoming supernatural? Are you able to harness your life force? John Chang could do this, and he was doing acupuncture for people. This is something awakening for everybody, but many are called, few are chosen. Some people are going to get so caught up in their ego and wanting to impress a collective and narrative that they're not going to take in their birthright. Whereas you took the time to do this, they didn't. And when it comes and that test hits everyone, you're going to use your abilities. You're going to make it through the next level of the Hunger Games. They're going to die. Like all these people who took the vaccine that's going to knock off a lot of people, the reason why their immune system is not going to be affected is because they practice chi cultivation. And so that's keeping them alive. The shit didn't affect them. They have powers. This is not something that could be measured by science. There are not scientific tools that you can find in Texas Instruments or any engineering firm that can measure this. And so people in their hubris push this into some pseudoscientific capability, but it's hubris. You're not even smart enough to engineer the technology to do that. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You're not able to calculate how much brain function someone really uses because the greater percentage of someone's brain is intangible. It's the Uranian aspect, the quantum facet of your brain that connects you to every other timeline that exists. So like, I'm sorry, y'all got finessed. You got lied to. And it's up to you to pick back up the pieces and reclaim what the fuck is rightfully yours. I just want to make sure I didn't mess up the mic there. You don't have to have all the answers. Everything is already within you. So, yeah, I think that's basically it. But this is definitely going to facilitate a lot of magician's moments and realization moments. There's the Aries season realization, the Taurus season realization, and the Gemini season realization of activation before Cancer, Leo, and Virgo integration. Okay. So shout out to the TI-84s. So yeah, the wild part about this is, remember, you're bridging a facet to and unlearning everything you've learned. You're getting ready to access and harness facets within you. That's this moon in Taurus. You're harnessing the facets and quality of your own bodily functions, but in supernatural ways. So as Neptune sextiles this, you are being guided moving forward, the greater manifestation of your own energy system and your ability to harness this with greater effects. So moving forward, as the moon goes into Gemini, to help you understand the intellectual truth and thought process of what the fuck you're even activating, I want you to open up to the possibility that you right now can generate your own life force energy to enhance your brain and bodily function. This follows the principle of balance. The more energy you generate, the more energy you're expending. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. And so if you cannot harness it, you're going to get tired quicker. When you harness this energy, it'll feel like you ran a whole mile. So you're going to learn how to harness this energy in a balanced way to where you're not using too much, but you're not using too little. It's literally chakra control 101. And not only is this Chakra Control 101, this is being sponsored by the awakening of this higher energy system, Pluto Aqua. Now that all Pluto and Aqua What Pluto and Capricorn did from 2008 to 2023 was awaken your body. Capricorn representing the skeletal structure and bones, but also Saturn, which could be the system of your body. It awakened your body's ability to harness energy by flushing out toxins in your body, awakening you to your character. And now Pluto in Aquarius is awakening the mind force, the mental chakra, all right, the physical masculine to connect with the feminine so that you can harness chakra. And this is what this next 20 years will help us increasingly intensify. So the quality of chakra that we can take around us facilitates this. And last time this happened was in the 1700s, around the time electricity was discovered. Let's go. So yes, okay. This is going to really, up until Virgo season, help you master your technique of how you harness energy, because everyone's different. Now, this is where the quality of people's energy are different. Some of you are vessels of gods, so you can harness their chakra element and enhance your body. Some of you have infinite energy. Some of you don't have infinite energy, but you're connected to beings who do. So you don't even need infinite energy. Some of you have found a way to, some of you, the quality of your energy, because you're fire dominant, is fire energy. Some of you harness water magic. Like, this is where we're going to manifest the quality of the power you're awakening. It's like the sorting hat, knowing what house you stand. Are you a Dumbledore? Are you a Gryffindor? It's like knowing if you are a fire affinity, if you're air affinity, and long story short, TLDR, or here's a cheat code. If you want to know your affinity, what's your sun sign? If you're a fire sign, you're a fire affinity. If you're a water sign, you're a water affinity. If you're an air sign, you're air affinity. If you are a earth sign, you're earth affinity. Okay. But you might have moon in a different element. So you understand another element, but you're a different affinity. So these are things that, in line with your human design and other such facets, will bring more reality to concepts that were more just imaginary to you. But now you have a way of understanding it, right? So yeah, all you have to do is just focus on it. Shout out to the projector gang. All right. Shout out to the generators. Shout out to the reflectors. Shout out to the manifestors. Shout out to all of y'all. All right. The key to this is the whole nature of sensing the energy and being able to charge it. So just continue to move forward to what you're guided to. An invisible facet of yourself is guiding the logical facet of yourself. You both need each other. The logical facet of yourself is this invisible facet of your soul's eyes and ears. It processes information for you, and it does all the manifestation for you. But you are it. You're both one. Okay. So yeah. All right. I'm going to prepare to do live readings. I see the Cashapps and the Venmos. For those of you who are actually serious about understanding what Venus and Taurus will be in your chart, minimum $40. Click the description box below. I got Cash App, I got PayPal, I got Venmo. And I'm gonna go in. If you would like an actual reading, okay, if you would like an actual reading of me breaking down this Venus and Taurus Uranus awakening and how it'll be in your chart. For example, if you're a Leo rising, Jesus Christ, if this shit is in your 10th house, you are manifesting a monopoly. I hit up the Leo King the other day and I was excited for him. I was like, bro, you have all this shit in your 10th. If this is happening in your 10th house, for example, you're getting ready to completely pioneer a whole new phase of your career and make buku cash, unexpected windfalls of income. Aries risings, Sag risings, y'all are getting paid. It's obscene. And that's why you're using that money to hire new people in your plays. I see y'all. Okay, so everyone's different. If you would like to know, get a transit forecast or get a natal chart report if you want to know your Venus, and just type in Venus or supernatural heart awakening, and I'll look into that. But regardless, if you would like a tarot reading, if you would like a reading, go to my website, thepeacedealer.com, and I got that automatic discount that will apply as soon as you put it in the cart. 50% off. So we're going to go down the Zodiac, okay, starting with Aries. If you would like a romance oracle card, minimum is 20, 2 for 30, 3 for 40. Okay. So, with that being said, the romance message that Aries has for you, and this is going to be awesome. I love this deck so much, as you can tell. I'll be frightened like I don't, but all right. The romance message Aries has for you. Of course, if you have Aries in your chart, then this is what message will play out through your Aries placements or house. We do have finances and career. So the underlying theme is Pluto issues are financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. This is saying, especially with all this Taurus in the second house, your money is good. So all the difficulty that you had in love before because of the lack of finances, that's not a problem anymore. And the card we have for you is trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Okay, beautiful. So trust. Aries is saying trust. All right. Taurus. Taurus is the next to glow up post May. So it's getting its ruler right now, which is dope. The message we got from Taurus to you is new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. For some of you, this could be a new phase of an existing partner too. And we have unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So Taurus is saying that a new love is coming in your life that's an unrequited love. So basically, there's someone who you're not feeling or they're not feeling you, and that's actually the one. Well, I'm not going to say they're the one, but it's a new love. Unless it's saying to let go of an unrequited love and it's going to bring in a new love. But I'm just be honest with you. There's someone in your sphere that you're not feeling or they seem to not be feeling you, but that's the new love that's coming in your life. And that's the Uranus awakening that's just going to like facilitate this change. So just keep that in mind. A relationship that, so it's either that or you're letting go of a relationship that doesn't have enough chemistry and that's going to bring in this new person. But I feel like that's the new person. Even if you've known them for a while, they're going to show up as a new person. Okay, so for some of you, this new love is just like a new phase of a relationship. For others of you, it's really interesting because some of this unrequited love is because of superficial reasons. So it's not what it seems on the surface. The message Gemini has for you is express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Shoot your shot. And we have this with let your friends help you. Ask for and accept help from others because trust me, you do have help. You're going to express your love is not saying to just shoot your shot randomly. Okay, if you're playing a basketball game, you're going to have that opportunity to shoot your shot. When that opportunity presents itself, don't freeze up, shoot it, but don't try and force it. Some of you might try and force it and then it won't work, but the opportunity will come. And if you need help, you have friends that'll help you. Gemini's hooking it up. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, Isaac, mine is I've never tried this before. Cranberry soda. It's all right. I just wanted to try it. So not even okay. Yes, you are meant to be here. All right. Oh, that's so awesome. Welcome to the gang. Okay. Thank you, Myra. We do have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay. And we do have this with chemistry. There's a strong romantic attraction here. All right. I will be back. Next, we have Leo's message. We are now going into the socials. So the first four were individual messages for you. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you want to manifest stuff like this, shout out to Storm Dancer. If you want to manifest stuff like this, right? Just feel it real right now. Feeling it real right now will activate the Venus-Uranus conjunction. And this is where, like, you don't have to worry about the details. If you're just moving in a direction, it will align you. The nodes will align you. You could literally be feeling love for one person and it attracts you to another soulmate that you're meant to be with. So just go in the direction of your heart, which is going to feel retarded as fuck, as it should. So we do have for Leo, you deserve love. You are lovable. You are so lovable. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. No, I did Cancer. Didn't I do? Yeah, Cancer got engagement and chemistry. Okay. Shout out to the Twitch viewers. So next we have Virgo. Cancer actually got the juiciest card so far. Virgo, we do have give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Please don't give up. And then we do have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Virgo is telling me some of you are dropping prospects too quick. Like if they spell the word wrong, if they don't look at you the right way, or some of you, you've been trying. No, just work on it. Just work on it. Okay. Libra is saying, yes, what an honor. Shout out to Tyler's Tarot. I still got to hit him up. So we do have engagement. So both Cancer, the two cardinal signs so far, Cancer and Libra got engagement as an underlying theme. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And we do have this with you deserve love. You are lovable. So it got a little bit of Cancer and Leo. We do have a Scorpio's message. Yeah, we got to do a Peace Dealer Tyler collab. That's going to be epic. I'm going to reach out to him, see if we could do something Taurus season. So we do have passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And we have this with forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Okay, passion is the key to stepping into this. Now we're in the gods level, the god levels, the collective, Sagittarius. Some of you bitches. Yo, Tyler is the only tarot reader who did a Gemini reading, interrupted the Gemini reading mid-reading to go off on someone in the comments, went off on this motherfucker's whole existence, and him going off was still accurate to the reading. I was like, who is this god? This is crazy. Like, it was the most godly Aries shit I ever seen. Like, how you interrupt the reading, but you still giving the reading, and then go back to the reading itself. I've never seen anything like it. It was godly. All right, we do see, of course, Sag will get playfulness. Sag don't want to take shit serious. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun. Spirit of fun to me is Sag sun to shine. Sag is literally the shiner. Okay, so we do have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Your soulmate might be a lame. Some of your soulmate might be a lame ass. Like, they might not be that cool. Maybe you're looking for this one and they're just not there, and that's your soulmate. Maybe your soulmate is ugly as fuck, but they're beautiful on the inside. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just joking. But they just might not be your type. That's such a Sag message. I love that. Okay, so we do have Capricorn. Just be playful about it. Yeah, maybe your soulmate is a Dusty. Like, you never know. It is what it is. Maybe he wakes up crusty as hell like me. Like, you never know. Like, it is what it is. Oh, snap. I wake up sexy. I'm not even going to claim that. Capricorn's message to you is keep an open mind. Maybe your soulmate is just a dusty, crusty loser. No, I'm joking. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type. This is Uranian energy. Okay, Sag will upgrade them. Cap will set them straight. So, you know, you might catch them in a different time. Or maybe they're just not your, it's not what you expected. I'm just going to tell you that this message came up twice. It's not what you expect. Okay, we have this with religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your spiritual upbringing and spiritual path. So, and for the Cap thing, your soulmate might be a muggle. Okay, and it could be a good dynamic. Like they could be someone that keeps you critical, and you can't really. You have to know your shit with them, because if you don't, they'll call you out on it. All right, so the message from Aquarius. There we go. Our soulmates ain't no lame. Okay, so we do have Aquarius. Shout out to the 29-degree Mercuries. That's what's up. All right. A muggle is someone who cannot perceive magic. So we do have playfulness, the Sag message. Oh, Devin, you and your aqua got playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And we have this with honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. That's beautiful. Finally, we have Pisces. We do have keep an open mind. Oh my God, dude. Listen, y'all. Y'all need to. I feel like some of you might low-key be disappointed, and you shouldn't be. I think you might just, this is telling you they're not going to be your usual type. So, like, if you like hip-hop, they like rock. If you like country, they like underground grime music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different worlds here. I really feel like y'all are going to bridge in different types of lifestyles. And this is the makings of an amazing relationship. We have trust. This is the message that, Aries got? This situation is calling for you to have faith. So Sag, Cap, and Pisces got this message, but Cap and Pisces got it as underlying themes. Okay, it's Jake from State Farm. Honestly, I feel like they're cool just like you're cool, but they're not at all what you were expecting at all. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you try and approach this logically, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because this is going to be different. You're going to be doing stuff you've never thought you would do with someone in a relationship too. So we do have, the collective reading for everyone. If you're not able to buy a card, here's your free card right here. You're only paying attention. We do have soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So upon reading this, if you don't know who your soulmate is as an underlying theme, Venus and Taurus will reveal this, and it will confirm who may already be your soulmate. And this is going to bring in so much deeper connection. This soulmate is worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And some people believe divine timing isn't real. And in the sense with how people use it, it's not real. But divine timing still exists. Okay, you are the divine timing. So this collective message is saying that you're going to understand who your soulmate is, or the archetype, or you may already know, and you're going to understand the timing and nature to pair y'all both together. Beautiful message. Just open up your mind, because they may not be your usual type. All right, now we're going to, are we talking romantic soulmate? Great question. This is a romance deck, so these are romance readings, but this could play out platonically. This could play out non-romantically for some of you if you choose to see it like that. Okay, so now we are going to do the live readings. All right. Anti-X Gen, please send me, please email me the picture of your chart, because the link that you sent me did not send me to the chart because I'm already logged into my profile. So Anti-X Gen, please email me the chart, the actual picture of the chart, or just email me your sun, moon, rising once again, because I was not able to open your chart from that link. Never mind. December 26, 76. I got you. I got you. I got you. Cool. I think I pressed the wrong link. That's why. So Anti-X Gen, you're cool. I got you. Marvelous chart, by the way. 23-degree Cap Mercury. Gorgeous. You got the Pisces moon. Okay. Loving it. All right. So first we have, of course, Christian Dixie. Christian Dixie, we know you are the main character as a celestial wizard king. So you are, of course, a very important proponent of the new generation. And as a Leo rising, this is going to set the stage for you manifesting the value, the individual value that will set your career, the explosion of which begins in May, okay, with Jupiter and the sun. So, in leading up to this being your rising star year, this ninth house Aries axis is enabling you to ascend your character and the attitude of your abilities that ascend this character. So, Venus in ahead is starting to innovate the quality of how you express yourself as an artist. It's starting to give you ideas about what you want to start to manifest, and it's preparing you to make fucking money, because this is all aligned with what you're meant to do. So I would get really excited because a lot of things that were just ideas for you are more of a reality than ever, and it's going to crescendo moving forward, so that by the time we get into August and the nodes switch into Libra and Aries, you're starting your chapter 1 Leo season, and you've already brought in so much of this success, which is going to still be new and innovative for you. So for those of you with the 10th house energy, you're going to be known, like what you're going to break through in. That's why I'm looking at the Leo King with this and what he does with his career, because what y'all are about to break through has never been done before. The type of music you make and what you put out has never been put out before. And so it's going to really attract so much unique attention through this. Beautiful. So next we have Stephanie Stringa. Stephanie, we know you are the Aqua Rising Queen. And what's really cool about this is you do have Chiron and Taurus. So Venus and Chiron puts yourself in a position to facilitate this sense of true love. And relative to true love, right? The healing love, this Venusian transit is going to really, through you, heal other people's triggers and also enact your triggers. But you're ascended, like you have the knowledge of self with the Aqua Rising, and you're a pure priestess. So like this is really just going to ground the understanding of what values you stand on to home this grounded love. This innovation is, as a Cancer, going to play out in your circle of friends. So you may be aware of this with people who personally stimulate the sense of belonging around you and starting to see the community around you form that you're at home with. This Taurus season as well is going to put you in contact with individuals who are at home with you so that you can come into your hopes and wishes and dreams as well. So monetarily and financially, this is going to kind of build the foundation for you to fuel a lot of your creative desires coming into your birthday period, to where you'll feel more aligned with the lifestyle that pushes us through. But Jupiter getting ready to evolve this may have you move during this period post-May as well. Even though your IC is more in Gemini, it's going to kind of stimulate this, all right? So next we have Next, we have Anti X Gen, the old goat. This old goat, love it. Okay, and I love your chart too. Being born late 70s is really cool. Having Saturn Leo, Kanye West has Saturn Leo, and both of you have finished your Saturn opposition, which is so key because now that Saturn is ascending for you, you're getting ready to create a way of life and philosophy that takes in this value. I want to kind of break that down. Both you and Kanye have the Cancer rising, and so relative to the wealth that he's come into, completing this Saturn cycle where he's touched the billions of dollars, and Adidas is coming back to kind of reestablish that. You also have completed the creative value, karmic value that through Aquarius enabled you to draw boundaries in who you deal with to barter this knowledge. But what's significant about this as a Cancer rising is you're due for a Jupiter return. You have Chiron in Aries that's also returning. You have Uranus in Scorpio, which is wild, opposite this Uranus. So because you have Uranus in Scorpio, for those of you born in the 70s and 80s with Uranus in Scorpio, because Uranus starts to go into Sag like mid 80s, the Uranus position that's opposing you has had you complete the psychological, claircognizant, intuitive capability of being able to discern this in people's body language. It's an intangible sense of wisdom that is now grounding like never before. And it's the equivalent of psychically striking oil. So for you as a Capricorn sun, this is going to creatively push forward your talents and how you connect those talents as a seventh house sun in the sixth house towards other people who align with your values. And I really hope that this personally resonates with you because you put in so much work dealing with other people that you've now created the space for all the people who you can trust to come together and pull their resources to help you come into more success. Especially as the nodes are getting ready to oppose your nodes. This is like coming into so much of this support from a team that you carried. It's like you carried this whole community on your back and you never necessarily lorded it over anyone. I feel like there's a lot of this that you might have not even shared, and they're all coming together to give you that appreciation because of all the cumulative effect of your actions on their life, on the collective, and you're finished with the Pluto transit. So this is kind of clearing that. It's just now Pluto is squaring your nodes. So this is going to really, with this Venus transit, challenge you to really transform the approach of how much deeper you facilitate this wisdom relative to what you're comfortable sharing about other people. Because I can imagine people are very uncomfortable with how psychic you are. I mean, as a Pisces moon, you got it like that. Like you're the divine director. So as a high priestess. So I really hope that that spoke to you and that that was accurate for you. Next, we have Carrie Richard. Broke up with my boyfriend in January, moving to Costa Rica with my teen daughter in June. Lot to change. Would love some info. Got you. Okay. So we do know that with your Capricorn rising, you are a director. You're the embodiment of integrity and power. You're one of the goats. And we know that you have this as sun and moon in Leo, which is very opportune because the moon is starting to oppose your moon. And I know you feel that. I know you feel that. I know you feel that. Oh, shout out to the Leo moons, the 0 to 5 degree Leo moons. That's not easy. It's also super strong and it's going to awaken strength unimaginable in you. However, given that your Aries energy is being activated by Jupiter and the nodes that are getting ready to return, it's putting you in a position. Thank you, Anti-Extend. It's putting you in a position to personally expand upon your home. And Jupiter going through the fourth facilitates a move, and you just kind of spoke to the direction you're moving towards. So that lets us know you're on the right path. The direction you're moving towards is getting ready for this Taurus season explosion of your awakening of your inner child, which opens up more romantic opportunities. And it's going to innovate the creative process with which you manifest. But as a Leo sun, you're going to be aware of this creativity through career breakthrough. So this career expansion is going to innovate your creativity and how your creative talents take you to the next level in your career based on how much more talented relative to the last 12 years you've evolved the quality of your soul, which is cool that you were born with Pluto and Uranus coming out of Virgo. So you are an OG. You got Neptune and Scorpio. And this is what's going to enable you to sense with greater experience so much more of this magic. One thing that I really want to establish for those of you born in the 60s and 70s with Neptune and Scorpio, a lot of people don't know Neptune and Scorpios are some of the most psychic people right now. And it's obscene how psychic y'all are, because Neptune and Scorpio is a mix of intuition and also deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. And it kind of mixes both of that psychological analysis with just buku intuition. So y'all just know stuff about people if they're lying, stuff that you shouldn't know. But why they're dangerous is Neptune Scorpios have their Neptunes trining right now. To have Neptune and Pisces trine Neptune Scorpio is a level of intuition that most people will never know in their whole life. And you have to be from the 60s to experience it. It's giving transcendent experience to their dreams and helping them experience this intangible sense of wisdom. So for you to have this like you do, opposing this Taurus energy is going to ground so creatively your understanding of how to be at home with this transformation of such a God tier level intuition. Okay. And square your Leo sun is going to really just strengthen how much more in private you can discern these things. So next we have Dominic. Okay. Dominic is new gen. He's an ascended being, also a Leo sun, main character of Destiny. So you're actually a Leo of Destiny. Huge deal. You got Uranus and Neptune in the South Node in Aquarius. So you literally come from the ancient future, which is a huge fucking deal. You're literally bringing alien knowledge as an ascended being. Oh my God. From the ancient future so that you can deal with others creatively to transform what courage they approach. Neptune in Aqua is, I'm so glad you asked about that, because Neptune in Aqua is also the next frontier of psychic ability. That shit don't even make sense, because Neptune and Aquas will pick up on stuff that hasn't even happened yet. And that's very frustrating unless you're a celestial who can be aware of that. So Neptune and Aqua is for gods. So if you're not God level, it's very hard to have it. If you're a God level and you can perceive information past, present, and future, Neptune and Aqua is not that hard. But if you're not, you're picking up information from like the future and you don't know how to critically contextualize it, and it'll just literally feel crazy. So it is what it is. But for you coming from the ancient future, Dominic, because all of this Taurus energy is going to integrate your lifestyle, you're due for a Jupiter return in May. And with Saturn here, this is going to really innovate the karmic level of, as a Leo, how you form the lifestyle around your career. So Venus is going to polish, smooth, and beautify the routine that maximizes the efficiency of you getting your value out into the world and you breaking through into the success in a way that helps you live an innovative lifestyle of luxury at such a young age before you even had your Saturn return. So it's a lot to really look forward to, but you really want to be mindful about the integrity of the authenticity you're moving forward with, so that you don't necessarily kind of push forward in a way that is not really what you want to do. Because energy like this is going to attract a lot of vampires around you who see your light before you fully see it and attempt to move your trajectory. Thankfully, you are, you are the power and strength of destiny here. I can't emphasize how important Sun North nodes are, but Uranus on the South node, like this is exceptionally important because your Sun is in the dignity in Leo on the North node, and then Uranus is in its dignity in Aquarius. So Leos with that are unlike any other. You're not like any other Leo ever. Leos with Uranus and Aquarius are different. They're different. You connect with people like me who have Venus and Taurus and Pluto and Scorpio. We connect the energy centers. But like you with the nodes there is different. You're like a super Leo. So it's something to keep in mind. It's going to prepare you for your birthday by making sure you've integrated this ascended facet of your being and your lifestyle updated to everything that's awakened since 2020. Woo! All right, next we have London Schultz. London, I don't think I got your chart, so please email me your chart at thepeacedealer.com. Taylor Williams, I got your chart, and Nari, I got your chart, but London Short, I did not get your chart. So please email me your sun, moon, or rising, or just the chart. And until then, I will skip to the next person. So next we have Taylor Williams. Taylor, we do have, of course, Pisces rising. Your moon is on Pisces next to a 23-degree aqua Uranus. So you're just all sorts of dangerous. You're actually an ultimate legend. You're one of the rarest ultimate legends, the new gen ultimate legends. Pisces risings with Uranus and Aquarius are some of the most alien psychic beings of all time. If you ever meet a Uranus and Aquarius with a Pisces rising, these people know what you're thinking without even knowing what you're thinking. You can't really hide secrets from them because these motherfuckers know. Okay. And you got the Pisces moon, you be terrifying people and not even like, you'll just say things, Taylor, and then traumatize people. You need to stop traumatizing people, Taylor, please. Cause I already know with the Pisces, you be trolling people. You be doing that trickster shit. I've hung around enough Pisces to know you be doing that trickster shit, making people uncomfortable because you too fucking psychic, and you're like, let me fucking read their mind real quick. Taylor, I'm begging you on behalf of humanity. I know they need to know. But come on, this is some new gen fuckery right here, okay? And you have this as a Leo, so you extra with it. You a transformer like us too. So you show them the Leo like, yeah, and then you slip into the Pisces and fuck with their heads. I can't with you. I really can't with you. All right. So you're already close to Aries rising. This is money, 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 money. This is money. You're literally innovating your attitude towards manifestation because now, especially as a Pisces moon, your ability to manifest is as simple as just imagining it. Neptune is so close to your rising, you're being able to shapeshift and transcend your personality and embodiment of the divine as an ascended master. And so this is putting you in a position to come into a much more unconventional facet of what attitude and approach to take manifestation, because now Jupiter has evolved, and Uranus in the third means gaining astrological skills. And the cool thing with you, Taylor, is you can take complex themes and ground it so simply in a way that a baby can learn it. And then as a Leo, you can make it fun. So like you're being pushed to create a more interactive capability for people to have fun with archaic ancient knowledge, which is really dope. But I will say that what's really key here is to stay true to this development of your self-esteem, because this is going to require more self-esteem than you're comfortable with. Taylor, you be hiding in the 12th house. You know you're the shit, but you know if you were to share that, people would feel like you're delusional. And now let these bitches think you're delusional because you got it like that. Like you got a lot of value, and you have to be okay with raising your prices, raising your time, and not shying away because you know people won't understand how divine you are. You feel me? But I hope you enjoyed that. Okay. Next, we have London Short. Thank you, London. We see that you're the natural goat. Okay. Taurus moon cap suns are different. They're very grounded, but they got that exaltation of soul. So that's really dope. And to know that you have this as a Taurus rising, so you're a natural queen. You're a teacher of a director. You're a ninth house Capricorn sun, which means you teach people integrity. You tell people what to do. and you're the queen too. So you're like, I've commanded you. You're natural queen. You're the self-made queen, which is very amazing. Shout out to Taurus moons. Taurus moons are I don't want to say they're underrated, but they are slept on, which is weird to me because like that's the most solid soul. But anyway, Mercury in Aquarius gives you this ability to communicate in a detached, knowledgeable way. And because your rising is in Taurus, this Venus transit is going to really bring out your natural beauty, which I can even see in the picture. You're literally just brimming with natural goddess energy and natural energy, which is very important because this is going to innovate the way that you express your personality and express the creativity as a Capricorn sun that has you express your personality. So this lets me know that you're very naturally talented. And this is going to innovate your talents to the next level as Jupiter transcends your belief in yourself to tap in more to the goddess level that you're in. So if you find yourself isolated, by May, you're starting chapter 1. And this is going to prepare you for this new chapter to where in advanced, you're determining the products you like to use. You are your own product and you're able to direct your own existence like a straight gangster. I'm gonna be honest with you. So that's pretty dope, especially because you have Jupiter and Sag. So you're born in 95. That's so gangster. Jupiter and Sag is so gangster because it's relatively rare to me, to be honest. And I love that 95 year. It's a bridge generation. So it's definitely going to put you in a position to kind of integrate a whole lot. Venmo is at the peace dealer. Okay. It's going to put you in a position to integrate a whole lot, how grounded you are to add more passion so that you can kind of move outside your comfort zone and still own how like gangster as fuck you are. Especially because you're going through your Saturn return. So this is in line of you returning yourself. The nodes have unlocked your royal queendom. Now it's time for you to step into your full power and attract really the collective that follows suit with that. Next, we got Nari. Okay, Nari is a Sag rising, an ascended being. Oh my God, dude. Not you having moon, oh my God. I think I tripped over this before. Not, first of all, you're one of us. You're a transformer. You have the ability to transform into another state, but not you. But then you're also a vessel transformer. So not every transformer is a vessel of something. You and I are vessels of beings we transform into. Not you having the king of the gods, Jupiter, and Uranus and Aquarius with your moon. Not you being a vessel of Uranus and Jupiter and Aquarius. You're a monster. You're a monster. You're a monster. You show people the Cancer, like, I care about your feelings. And then you transform into the celestial. No, not you just knowing how people feel before they told you. We have a word for people like you. We run away from people like you, sir. No one wants to talk to someone who I can't even share my feelings because you already know how the fuck I feel. Before I even tell you the story, you tell me about the weather and it's exactly what I was going to tell you. Now I feel like you fucking trolling me. Oh, hell no. Be very, very careful. Be very, very, very careful because you might make some enemies. Like you're going to have to go through this weird period where you have to flesh out what's your higher mind and what's you really, your behavior. And I know I sound like I'm joking, but like Pluto's in Aquarius now. You have the audacity to have this moon and a 29-degree Neptune. So you just want to be super fucking psychic too? Like, the heck is that? This is actually very beautiful because Pluto is awakening this right now and King Kong's in your Mercury. So as you're transforming the way you think with your psychic powers, this is fully integrating in your lifestyle the nature of how you take your ascended being and create your reality. So especially the Sag and Sag risings of creation, Uranus is innovating your lifestyle to where since Pluto awakened the second house Cap, you can snap your fingers and manifest a whole lifestyle. I want to make sure there's a distinction here. You're going from being able to manifest different things to manifesting an entire lifestyle at once with all those different things. And that's supernatural. There's nothing normal about the fact that you can do that. But you actually understand the knowledge of what you're doing, and that makes you dangerous. These unconventional supernatural abilities were cool before Pluto went into Aquarius, but now they're awakening super extremely. So this facet of your moon in Aquarius is squaring this Taurus transit. And the square between Aquarius and Taurus from the 3rd and the 6th house is taking an idea and making it a tangible behavior. It's like taking an attitude that's very extra dimensional and knowledgeable and being able to ground technology in a way that almost seems too out there. So that's your only challenge, but you're going to be able to do this really well, especially by the time Jupiter goes into Taurus in May. So as a Cancer sun, this integration of your lifestyle is going to revolve around the friends in your life and individual influences that push you to ground the proper values to build this lifestyle. And vice versa, the quality of lifestyle you build, which now enables you to really make greater quality friends amongst other things. Okay. Jean Ramirez, thank you very much, sire. We know that you are an artist, a late Libra rising, born in Detroit, and you're a GOAT squad. You're born 89, so you have Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn in Capricorn. Good shit. As an Aqua rising or Aqua North node, all of you guys with Aqua North nodes, whether you were born in the 70s, but more specifically and relevantly the 80s, but it really doesn't matter, or 90s, our destiny is awakening. Even if you have South Node Aqua, but North Node Aquas, our destiny is awakening. So this is going to extremely affect how much more people you connect with. And as a Libra rising, your talent is directly a part of your destiny. Never, ever forget that, especially as a Sagittarius sun and moon, you're an amazing artist. Sag, sun, and moon as a Libra rising is the artist of ascension. Okay. Sagittarius, I went down the whole list. Like Sagittarius is the best, right? Capricorn is the GOAT. And so this is where Sagittarius has become GOATs. This is why Jay-Z is the GOAT of hip hop, right? Drake right now is the best right now because Drake is going through a Sag progression, but he's not the GOAT yet. He hasn't gotten to that cap yet. Jay-Z is still the GOAT. I hate to break it to you. Whether you like Jay-Z or Drake, I'm not saying this as a fan of them. I like Kanye. If you ask me, Ye's the GOAT, but I have to be real. Ye even said that Drake is the GOAT, but Drake is still he's the best right now. He's a progressed Sag, whether you like him or not, right? Jay-Z is the GOAT, whether you like him or not, for hip hop, right? So I'm using them as an example because Jay-Z has a Libra moon, right? He's an artist ascended. He's an ascended artist or an artist of ascension. But like your personality is tied to artistry. So with the Sag, sun, and moon, you are fully ascended, right? And this puts you in a nature to do what I like to see this as. Libra is the artist and Sagittarius is the color palette. And so you tell people colorful stories. You show people the meaning of what's engaging in the way you create art. And so this is important because Jupiter is evolving your relationships in Aries. And as a Sagittarius, you're able to do more creatively in partnerships with others to inspire them moving forward. And this is what with Taurus is going to completely transform and innovate what you invest and allocate your money towards, who you invest and allocate your money towards, who you invest your art towards, who you invest and what you invest, and how you come into more investments from people who believe in you, because this is going to transform the dynamics of your relationships. This is why Libras are killing the crypto game right now. Even if they took losses, like they're able to kind of gain this innate understanding through the crunching of these numbers. I mean, I'm not going to say every Libra knows, but basically 90%, even if you don't know what you're doing, which is kind of contradictory, but yeah. So with that being said, this Taurus season is really going to prepare you to really draw proper boundaries as your value skyrockets, whether it's of art or whatever else you're doing. All right. So next we have Tija Giuseppe. Markel, I feel you. So we do have new love, Teja. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings, or Teja. I hope I'm not saying your name wrong. And we do have past life relationship. So you're connecting with someone you've known before. There's someone new coming in your life, or someone who's presenting themselves as a new person or a version of themselves that you have a past life relationship with. Spicy. I like that. I like that. Go and get you that past life love. So next we have Carrie. Carrie. Kissing. Thank you, Carrie. We have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And the card we have for you is religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. This was verbatim the Capricorn message. This is legitimately the message we got for Capricorn. And Capricorn is your 7th house of relationships. So take for that to mean what you will. That's pretty interesting to me. Personally. Well, that's how you feel? Well, that makes sense. All right, last but not least, if we don't have any more for readings, we do have Brandon Walton. If anyone would like a chart reading, once again, you're welcome to join my website to get a reading, or if you would like a live reading, let me know. So Brandon Walton. No, we didn't do Pluto Aqua yet. Yanni, thank you for asking. For Pluto Aqua, I want to, and Saturn Pisces, I want to prepare a special documentary, pre-recorded documentary. You feel me? I want to do a special pre-recorded documentary, and that's why I haven't touched it. But do you guys want me to still do a talk? Like, I wasn't thinking of doing like a live talk like this, but if you want, I can. I wanted to kind of save that for something like well produced, but I can do a talk like that too. If I might make it and then do the talk to promote that, but we'll see. Yeah. Every aqua placement, it's gonna be comprehensive. I'm gonna make it really good. And it's gonna be free too. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to be a membership. I'm gonna make it a well-produced documentary, but I'll see if I can do that and that. Mar, I got your chart. I'm not sure if you wanted like a reading with that, or whatnot. If you want me to read your chart outside of that, you can always get a reading. I totally got you. So Brandon Walton, we have, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And we have this with passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Yeah, Saturn and Pisces, I'm going to go in. I'm going to give myself a deadline to do that because I really want to work on that and change my editing style. So that one's going to be good, guys. I really look forward to that. So anyway, you guys stay blessed as always. This was fun. Thank you guys for tuning in to me. Once again, you will be able to access this recording. I'm thinking of tomorrow doing the monthly peace report for Aries season. But if I don't do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. But you might catch me tomorrow. That's an Infinity Club exclusive. Y'all stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.